live stream.
That's another great question.
From the Gettysburg Museum of History Studios, high atop Baltimore Street, in a maximum security facility complete with central air, it's AG Today.
Hello, folks. It's Patrick Gorman.
Hi, this is Jake Busey.
Hi, this is Bruce Boxleitner.
This is Tom Vera from A Gettysburg Christmas.
Hi, this is Bo Brinkman.
And you're listening to Addressing Gettysburg. I'm glad you're listening. Thank you.
There's a devil to pay.
Did you say Ed Lincoln?
Good night, everybody.
Bonfire.
You're listening to
Addressing Gettysburg Today.
I love this podcast.
Hello, exactly.
Uh-oh. Wow.
Ooh, don't do it. Please don't do it. Oh, no. Oh, no.
Come on, man.
0.0.
Menachem Begin.
It's getting to be goddamn ridiculous.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to this episode of Addressing Gettysburg. Today, the 28th of September, if you will. Bethany Yingling sitting in for Ronnie Ronstadt today. What is tonight? Board meeting night? I guess it is, right?
It's round table.
It's round table.
Oh, it's just regular
It's the
round
normal
table.
regular
Well, how come you're not there, Debbie?
Because she's here with us.
I know. I'm happy you're with us.
Yeah, it's been a little bit of a traumatizing week, so I was not up for it.
Yes, it has. And we're going to get into that in a little bit there, Debbie. But first, we're going to give you a round of applause for being well and good. And for those of you listening who don't know what we're talking about, we'll get to that in a second. But how have you been there, Bethany?
Great.
All right, good.
I have lived the life.
What life?
It's been raining since forever. So today was actually a nice day. I went out and I did something.
It was a beautiful day today.
Yeah. Ran around, walked outside, breathed fresh air. It was like a whole new world.
Well, yeah. Bo Brinkman
I don't get to
is sitting
do
in
that
here too
normally.
as well. The return of Brinkman. That's today's
The
episode.
return of Brinkman.
He's back here. It looks like he's a midget. There we go. All right. Hello. And Bo's back in the area. A lot of people have been saying, "Is Bo around? Is Bo around? When's Bo coming back? When's Bo coming back?" And I'm like, I don't freaking know. It's good to be back. It's good. It's good to have you back. It hasn't been the same.
Yeah, it's a good thing that you keep track of his schedule so much.
Yeah. Well, look, I put it, I have kept in touch, and I go, when are you coming back? And originally, I think it was like end of July.
Yeah.
Then July came, and then it was no, probably end of August. Then it was, no, end of September. And I was like, I'll believe it when I see it.
Yeah, you need to stop being so popular.
Yeah.
I'll tell you.
And I texted him today, and I said, when are you coming back? And he goes, I'm here.
Hey,
I was like, great, come on the show.
48 hours now.
Yeah.
you know,
listen.
he gave you 48 hours. Really, what
did.
it was is he knew you were here.
Gave him some time.
He's been stalking you. He knew you were here, but he was like, I'm going to give him 48 hours so that it doesn't look like I'm stalking him.
Well, it's weird because I've had to acclimate. It was 100 degrees every day for about, several months in Texas.
No, thank you.
And
I'll take it.
And I left. It was in the 90s. And then 3 hours later, I'm here, and it's in the 60s.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
You know,
it was in the high 40s when I woke up this morning.
Yeah, 48.
What you missed was last week, it was in the 90s, and then it happened here. You just had it in 3 hours.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
had it over like.
But don't
maybe
worry,
2
it'll be
days.
up in the 80s again in a couple days.
Yeah, I think it will.
Yeah.
I think
It's not over
for a
yet.
couple of days.
Yeah.
A little Indian summer action. You know.
Oh, it's awful.
No. This is normal. It's usually sometimes it stays in the 70s and 80s into October.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
I
that's
mean,
true.
you know,
I've been here during that time when it was warmer than
it's
I thought
pleasant.
would
It's
be.
pleasant. Now everybody's
Recently-
sniffling here. Are you sniffling too, Beth?
I'm
Do
just.
you want me to?
Yeah, could you?
Yeah, I think it's just the air conditioning all of a sudden.
You think so?
Just like I'm good.
No,
I don't have allergies, so
You don't?
No, never,
Never had them.
never.
Interesting. How about you, Debbie? You sniffling?
Yeah, but mine's allergies. So
Yeah, mine too. I think mine is. Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, they were rainy days all day.
Yep.
And me and Major just couldn't get off the couch. We just napped and watched movies. I got into the show House. Do you ever watch House?
Yes.
I love that show. You don't like
Ridiculous. It's so totally you.
it? I think that's
Yeah,
why I like it.
that's why you like
yeah, because he's an asshole.
If you were a doctor,
Yeah.
that's exactly what you would do.
Yeah, if I could ever rattle off those words, I would totally be him.
Yep.
Yeah, no, you're right, because he's an asshole. He's got a goofy sense of humor, but he's always right.
Yes.
Just like me.
Yep.
And so I really enjoy the show, although it's very formulaic. I mean, they're all formulaic, right? But this one is
You're
like.
not supposed to be binge watching it. They don't expect you to be doing that.
Yeah, that's
I was
right.
thinking that. I was like, yeah, well, these are meant to be watched a week apart.
Gig.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're supposed to have forgotten most of
Yeah.
that between the last time you watched it.
But I really like Hugh Laurie. Like
Oh,
he's
yeah, me too.
really good, and the things they put in his mouth to say,
Yeah.
I mean, really good writing.
Did you ever? I mean, this is a girl movie, but did you ever see Sense and Sensibility?
No.
Okay,
I saw the
he's in that-
preview.
He's in that movie, and he plays the put upon brother-in-law, and
He's young in that,
fantastic.
isn't he?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's one of my favorite Hugh Laurie movies.
Who was the main female star in Sense and Sensibility? Senseless
Yep.
Sensibility,
Well, Kate Winslet's in it,
of course.
and Professor Trelawney from Harry Potter. Debbie, help me.
Emma Thompson.
Emma Thompson.
Emma Thompson, of course,
Yeah.
the great Emma Thompson,
Love her.
British actress extraordinaire.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, anyway, so we watched that. I finished watching Gangs of New York for AG Film Club. Casey, if you're watching and I know you're gonna call in. I forgot to set up the phone line, but I'll do it during the first break. Don't worry. And then, what was the other one? Joker. Have you seen Joker with
Yeah.
Joaquin Phoenix?
That's horrible.
Very disturbing.
Holy hell!
Yeah.
What a great movie, but it's so
he's-
dark.
It's dark.
He's really good in that movie.
I couldn't even watch the movie because the preview scared me so much. I was like,
Same.
I'm not going to see it.
It'll make you
Yeah.
think. I don't know what I thought about, but I was just like, man.
Yeah.
You know what I thought about was like how crazy some actors are, Bo. You can attest to this. That they get so into a role that they'll lose a lot of weight like he did, and they'll allow themselves to go insane. Right? Like, so they say. But I believe some of them do.
Heath Ledger.
Heath Ledger, Joaquin Phoenix, Daniel Day-Lewis.
Yep.
Who else?
Well, to some extent,
Andy Dick.
no.
No,
He's crazy to begin with.
Okay.
Jack Nicholson,
Oh yeah,
Joker,
yeah.
just
Another
about
one.
killed him.
No. Oh yeah, that's what he told
And then
Heath Ledger. Yeah.
He told that. Yeah, he said, be careful of this role.
Yeah. And it killed Heath.
It killed Heath.
Do you believe that?
No.
I mean, I think some of that stuff is like PR stuff, like marketing stuff, right?
Yeah. I mean, what did Lord Larry, as he was called,
Right.
say to Dustin Hoffman? Dusty, I think you should try acting.
Oh yes, I've heard that before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When he was because he stayed up all night, Marathon Man, I believe it was.
Okay.
Where he stayed up all night yelling, so his voice would be, all night long he just yelled and yelled and wanted to be exhausted for the scene.
Right.
Lord
Instead
Larry
of just acting like he was.
try acting.
But that's the difference between those generations,
Oh,
though,
yeah.
right? That
Yeah, big time.
old generation, they study the craft of acting, and the other one, they kind of reinvented it, the next generation.
Well, yeah, I mean, and also he's from the Royal Shakespeare, grew up in Royal Shakespeare, and
Dustin Hoffman's a dirty
Dustin
American.
Hoffman didn't.
Put it delicately.
But it's funny how, I don't know, I am kind of impressed when actors can, I don't know if I'm impressed or I'm just curious when actors go all out. Like a Daniel Day-Lewis when he plays Lincoln or any of the roles that he does.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Like that when they go all out like that, I don't know if I'm impressed or it's like looking at a car crash.
Do you know what Daniel Day-Lewis, do you know what his day job is? You'll never believe it.
Barista at Starbucks.
Almost.
What?
He's a cobbler.
A shoemaker.
He makes shoes.
A shoemaker. Really?
Has been doing it for years.
Now, day job or hobby? Well, he probably made a business out of it.
I think he made a business out of it. Yeah. He was. He almost had a nervous breakdown. I have a friend that was doing a play with him in London, and he literally just almost had a breakdown over it.
Over the shoes?
No, over the play.
Over the play.
The character.
What an idiot I am.
And so I don't know if you've noticed, but I mean, like after My Left Foot.
Much better than the right one.
It was years before he made another movie. You remember?
It was a long time.
Yeah.
And then there's always sometimes a 10-year span between characters,
But some of those guys do that, though.
Yeah. Well, he certainly did. Brando did that a lot in his older years. He just.
But wasn't he also kind of lazy, Brando, because he wouldn't memorize the lines? He would have somebody with it, or he'd have it taped somewhere.
Earpiece.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that you think that's laziness or what is that about?
It could be just that they can't remember lines anymore.
Yeah, see, that's why I never really tried to get into acting because I can't remember what I ate for breakfast. Forget about a line.
When my mom did the theater, my sister and I, our job was to read lines with her, and so we would learn all the other roles. And Mom would be like, it's hard learning lines. I said, try learning all of them. Mess with me, woman.
Yeah, it's hard learning lines. You have to attach something behind those lines and not just memorize them, but you have to have something attached to them so you won't forget them.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We lost 2 big actors this past week.
We did.
Michael Gambon from Harry Potter, and then David McCullough from NCIS.
David McCullough.
Heartbreaking, both of them.
Yeah, he played Ducky in NCIS, and he was also in the Man from U.N.C.L.E. back in the
I don't
day.
know him. Wait. I've got a Google machine right here in front of me. Let me look him up. David McCullough?
Correct.
Not David McCullough, the guy who did, not the historian.
I lost my
actor.
costumer this month as well.
Really?
Rebecca, you met her.
The one that did for this?
Yeah.
Nuh-uh, what happened?
We're still trying to figure it out. She's 37.
Yeah, she's young.
September 7th.
37. Wait, who was this?
Rebecca, my costumer that I've been working with for 10 years.
She was on the
She
film.
did Gettysburg Christmas.
Yeah.
What happened?
They don't know.
I was looking at David
they do
McCullough.
know.
I'm
That's
sorry.
the point.
Oh, you don't want to share.
Yeah.
That's all right.
That's crazy.
That's terrible. She was very nice.
Oh, she was great. A terrific costumer. And I was talking to her right up to a few days before. Yeah.
Wow.
That's awful.
That is awful.
telling you.
She's really young.
She was part of our film family.
Yeah.
Me and my DP and Oscar, who you met. And there's a group of us, there's about 10 of us, that we've been doing film together for 20 years.
Wow.
And yeah, so
It's family.
we've been
It becomes
grieving
family.
for all this month. Her memorial was just last Sunday. Yeah.
She out of Texas?
Yeah. Well, she lived in Silverton, Colorado.
Okay.
But yeah,
she would come down.
She was out of Texas. Yeah.
Oh, that's sad.
there.
I
Born there.
didn't know that.
Yeah.
You're getting a lot of love in the comments, Bo. A lot of, so sorry to hear that.
Oh, there you go.
Thank you.
Yeah, and Stella says it's great to see Boo. I think she meant Bo.
Might be autocorrect there.
And let's see, what else is anybody saying? Yeah, you're getting the love there. People are happy to have you there, Debbie.
So I see.
Everybody's happy. Let's tell everybody why everybody's happy. Debbie had a scary, man, if you recall on last week's show, we talked about how Debbie was going to the Ren Fair. How was it, the Ren Fair, by the way? Or did you not even get there?
It was fantastic. No, I got there. The incident in question happened on my way home.
Oh, right.
Yep, I got up there. It rained basically the entire time.
Yeah.
Yeah. here
But
too.
one of the nice differences between here and the Ren Fair I went to at home is this one had paved sidewalks. So it wasn't
as opposed
just
to
sea of
mud.
mud.
Yeah.
Yeah, back home they're just like wood chip paths.
Yeah,
so
yeah, which-
a day like that would have been miserable.
So you finish the Ren Fair. You're wearing your latex elf ears,
No, I did
right?
not bring the
Oh, you didn't bring the elf ears.
out.
I thought you were going to
Not that
bring them.
rain? No.
What? They're latex. What's going to happen to them in the rain?
I don't know. They
Didn't
melt
you
or
ever
something.
see Wizard of Oz?
Oh, is that
Back up under the house.
Yeah.
Do you have your leotards on?
Yeah.
No, I did not wear any kind of a costume.
So you
to
dressed
this
2023.
year. Yes.
Okay.
Most of my stuff is in storage anyway, so I can't find most of it.
Fair enough. Now you go to the Ren Fair. You stay overnight or you just go for the day?
Oh, just for the day. It's only about an hour away.
Okay, so you go for the day. Now tell us what happens on
Best
the way
way to
back.
go.
Listen to this
Yep.
story. A harrowing tale.
So I'm on the way home, Pennsylvania Turnpike, and the GPS had just told me, you've got 2 miles till the interchange with 15. I was in the left lane, and I thought, okay, 2 miles, I need to make sure I get over and start slowing down and everything, take the cruise control off and all of that. And I'm in the process of changing lanes from left to right and hydroplaned. And fishtailed wildly trying to get control of the car. Slid into the right guardrail, spun me around, and I went into the wall on the left side. So I completely blocked.
The Jersey barrier you're hitting in the middle there.
So yeah,
We have a picture of your vehicle. If there you go.
that's what it looks like.
Nice job.
Almost
Yeah.
done and done.
And you have no bruises or scratches or anything.
I have bruises.
Okay,
but
where?
I didn't break anything. I didn't hit my head. The bruises are pretty much just where the seatbelt hit me.
Okay.
I do have one on the back of my left arm that I think must be from the side airbag. But otherwise, it's like my right shoulder, the top of my left thigh, stuff like that, where all spots where the seatbelt held me in place and did its job.
Got
Yeah.
a gnarly one
Did
on her
the
neck.
airbag go off in your face?
Yes,
What was that like?
did. It
Good
didn't
question.
so much hit me in the face, but like that force of air or whatever between that and the seatbelt, I have a lovely like rug burn across my neck. It looks sort of like someone tried to murder me.
Yeah, your car did.
The ligature marks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
But that's
Yes.
so like I always wondered that too. What does it feel like when the airbag hits you in the face,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, I don't want that.
I don't
Yeah.
either. But does it hurt at all?
yeah. I mean, it more startles you than
Yeah.
anything else.
And what if you're wearing glasses? I mean,
You can break your nose, I've
you
heard.
absolutely
Yeah.
could, yeah.
And
yeah,
your glasses.
sunglasses. You got shards of glass sticking out of your eye.
Well, who wears
Thankfully, because it was raining, I was not wearing glasses.
who wears glasses anymore? It's all plastic.
That's true.
What are you talking about?
Shards of plastic.
sticking out of your eye.
Yeah.
Debbie, tell them the part that you told me in the car about if you had gone the other way.
No.
Oh, yeah. So I think because of the way the car fishtailed, it slowed my momentum a bit. So that when I hit the guardrail, I didn't go through it or over it. Because if I had, on the other side of that guardrail was nothing but black. So
What do
if
you
I
mean?
had, I wouldn't be here because it would have been a fall.
Oh God! Like off a cliff? Mm-hmm. Holy shit!
And
really?
if I hadn't hit the guardrail, I probably would have gone into trees, which could have been every bit as bad.
Where did this happen? Like where on the turnpike?
Just a couple miles above the interchange with 15.
Oh, so you were almost here anyway. Oh my God! Well, they say most accidents happen within 6 miles of the home. I mean, you were further out than
Yeah.
6 miles, but still, you're on your way home.
Yeah.
That is that's crazy, man.
Yeah.
That you would have gone flying off that cliff. Thank God you hit the wall,
Yeah.
right?
I am ridiculously grateful to be alive, and nobody else was involved. It was
Yeah, it was just you
me.
and the wall.
So
Did people stop to help you?
they did. The first couple of people just kind of went by, but
Yeah,
one,
you can't stop.
one gentleman was able to slow down enough that he asked, "Are you okay?" Because as soon as I realized that I was still functioning and I could get out, I did, because of course the engine's smoking and I'm terrified it's going to blow up on me.
You don't want to get hit by a car either because people,
No. Exactly. So, and those side airbags, by the way, once they deploy, they don't move. So I had to like shimmy out underneath the airbag.
Wow.
But they deflate though, don't they?
Not those side ones.
What if the car's on fire?
Yeah, really.
I know.
You're gonna
That's part of my fear.
That's why they tell you to take the key out and pierce the bag.
I never heard
I've
that.
never heard that.
Yeah. Okay. Take the key out.
But
nobody has no cars. Don't have keys anymore.
Yeah, that's a
Mine does.
Yeah, mine does.
Well, did.
Oh, yours. Okay.
But
did.
yeah,
What if you can't reach it? You're just like,
Right.
Yeah.
You start biting it.
Bo is
So yeah,
practicing this
once I
in
was
his spare
outside of
time.
the car, this gentleman stopped to make sure I was okay. And
Then obviously, were you shaking?
oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I
Imagine.
got several feet away from the car and just leaned against that wall like
it
was the only thing supporting me. So
Probably was the only thing supporting you.
Pretty much.
Right? Your legs were
how
shaking.
much did you have to drink?
Nothing.
I'm kidding.
But the
If
trooper
I hadn't
that
have
did
drank
ask me
that whole bottle of Jägermeister, if I just hadn't have smoked that 3 joints in a row,
I just had some mead at
it was fine.
At the
that
Ren
gallon
Fair.
of mead, I would have been fine.
Meat will
Wash down
sneak
that
up on
turkey
you.
leg.
Watch exactly. How are you going to wash down the turkey without mead? So now wait. Did they total your car, or have you found out yet? Okay, so
Yep,
it's totaled.
They totaled it. It's been sold to like a scrap place already.
All right.
So.
Glad you're okay.
Yeah,
Me
really.
too.
You and Lentz really have me scared this year.
And I really didn't mean to. I'm sorry.
Of course you didn't mean to, but I mean, really. I mean, maybe you guys should really.
We're not starting a club. Let's just
Not start a club. No, I just think that we need to move Mike into town and not let either one of you have cars.
Hey.
And well, rickshaws. We'll get you a rickshaw.
Oh, okay.
And then or a
Those
trike
are
or something.
safer.
Yes.
Yeah.
Rickshaws are totally safer. 100%.
What, you're saying they're
Not
not?
as good as those segues.
I mean,
Hey, rickshaw company. There you go.
Yeah.
oh my God, rickshaws on the battlefield.
like
Yeah.
the one thing.
Have
we
you
know.
wanted to
We
just
wanted
trotting
to
along?
do, yeah, we wanted to do that with
One of
Getty's
those little
bike.
rice hats from Vietnam.
We wanted to do that with Getty's bike, but me and the other owner are too out of shape to pull anybody
You wanna
that
lose
long.
some weight. That's not a
I know.
bad
I wanted to
idea.
lose some weight, but I didn't want to have a heart attack in the process. So we said, let's not do that.
You've seen the rickshaws with the bicycles. That's how, when we go to a game in Houston, Astros game, we get out of our car and a rickshaw picks us up and takes us to the front. Of
And
the
it's a guy
stadium.
pedaling, not running, right?
Yeah, they're pedaling.
Yeah,
it's great.
Yeah, oh, I know. Yeah, they look
Good
cool.
music. Some of them have beer for sale in the little
Really?
behind them.
What?
Yeah,
That's awesome. Texas sounds like the Wild West.
it's great.
Yeah. By the way, anyway, Debbie, I'm glad to hear you're okay.
Yes.
Thank you
Me
for
too.
sticking in this realm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I keep joking that my guardian angels deserve hazard pay for that shenanigans.
Yeah. Well, God, that's the thing with the hydroplaning. Like that shit sneaks up on you. Got to be
can't
really
do anything
careful
about it,
No,
yeah.
and you can't. No, you just pray and evacuate your bowels. That's what I would do. Well, I told you when I
I
was
did not do that.
you didn't pray.
Oh, I prayed.
Oh, you better
for
have.
sure.
When I
Yeah, there-
was in high school, I had my first car was a Volkswagen GTI, right?
Mm-hmm.
It was in 1985. I got it in 1995. And I was, it was a stick, right? And so we're driving, of course, bald tires, and we got let out of school early. It was a snow day. So me and my friend are driving over to my house from school, and we're coming around this bend, and I'm not, I'm new to driving, and I'm going a little too fast to be going around this bend in the snow. And so I realize I'm starting to skid, so I make the rookie mistake of slamming on the brakes.
Oh, yeah, don't do
And then I start to spin.
Of course.
And we're just going in circle. And I remember looking over at him, and we both go, "Oh shit!" And like we don't know what to do. I mean, I'm turning the wheel the right way you're supposed to, and it doesn't matter because you're on a. And then boom, slam into a curb. We weren't going. I was going too fast for the curve, but not fast enough to do any damage.
Oh.
And then so we look around, everything okay? We look outside the car, wheels are okay. We're like, oh good. And then I just do a U-turn and continue on home. But it was a good early lesson to have. Like you got to be really careful on wet roads.
Yep.
By the way, the actor who passed away is David McCallum, not McCullough.
Oh, sorry.
You better be. That's why I kept saying David McCullough. David McCullough.
Debbie agreed with me, and that's all I have to say.
It was close enough. I knew who she
Close
meant.
enough.
Well, David McCullough's a completely different person.
McCallum.
But they're both dead. I know who you're talking. I'm looking at him here, and I know exactly.
He was so cute.
He was adorable. Just adorable. And what a shame.
He was apparently a super nice guy, too.
And he was in The Man from U.N.C.L.E., which is a great show. If you have never watched it, definitely go back and watch it. And he is super, like, he's verging on sexy in that show. Like,
Really?
yeah. Like British sexy.
The hell are you talking? Oh, British sexy.
Yeah.
Which is
Not
American
like
nerdy.
sexy in America.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Exactly.
With all due respect to our British friends. Okay, so let's see. Whatever. Sorry for your loss, Bo. Sorry for your loss. Colorado. All good, Colorado town. Okay, they're having private conversations in there. To be fair, Mike says we should not start an auto club together. Okay. Go in and form an insurance company for the Gettys nerd community. That's a good idea. Make a lot of money raising their premiums. Rickshaw for get out of the car tours. Not a bad idea either. Marie says, I slid and backed into a tree in the snow with my young girls asleep in the back seat. Scary. Yeah, it is scary. You gotta be careful, folks. You gotta be careful with those.
I hydroplaned on my way to take my driver's test.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Hit a truck.
Wait a minute. You're driving without a license then?
My mom was in the car.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
She's going.
All right. You had
I
a
was
learner's
going
She had a learner's
Yeah,
permit. Yeah. Come on, Bo.
Yeah, and my mom didn't believe me that I was trying to brake because she's like, "Yo, you're a new driver. You didn't do it correctly." And then on the way home, it happened to her, and she was like, "Oh yeah, the brakes in your car."
I mean, growing up in the 70s, early 70s, we drove cars way before we were 16. I mean, I had a car when I was about 13, and I used to drive to 8th grade. And in the 8th grade, I would have to park across the parking lot because they didn't have student parking.
Right.
You know,
Right in 8th grade, yeah.
You know, I had a bunch of friends that were driving 13, 14, 15 years old, way before we got a driver's license at 16.
There is a good reason why I didn't get mine until I was 18.
Oh, there's also a good reason that they changed the drinking law from 18 to 21 again.
Yeah.
You know, yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of good reasons for certain things.
Yeah.
I remember my grandfather telling me a story that he was coming home. He and my grandmother were coming home from a party in the 80s. This was in the 80s. And he had a couple drinks, and he got pulled over, and the cop's like, "You been drinking tonight?" And yeah, and made him walk the line and all that other stuff. Said to my grandmother, "How many drinks did you have?" "Oh, I had a glass of wine."
Oh, you
all
drive
right, you
home.
drive home.
Yeah.
And that was it.
That's the way it used to be.
Yeah.
So much. I mean, we got pulled over a couple of times where I grew up in Pasadena, Texas, where the cops would take our beer, put it in their trunk, and send us home and say, "If I see you out again tonight, I'm going to arrest you. Just get home."
Go home.
And then we'd have to pour our beer out, and they would confiscate the beer and let us go. That was in the 70s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And now, I mean...
Now they ruin your life.
Oh, my gosh. Yeah, I used to tell my son,
Don't
call
even
me
try.
if you get to a party and you start drinking.
Yeah.
I will pick you up and you will not get in trouble.
Yeah, because you're not gonna live it down till you're 45.
Yeah, I mean, it's
ruin your life.
Yeah, you couldn't get a driver's license. What is it, till 21? I think if you get caught with alcohol underage. And
Yeah.
I
Just
don't know.
everybody out there, I don't drink, so if you need a designated driver, all you have to do is call.
there you go.
Well, there you go. Very good. All right. Well, we're going to take a break. We'll take a break. We'll come back. Phone calls. We got some information about the shutdown and how that affects Gettysburg National Military Park.
Oh, nice.
And other things. And we'll talk to Bo more about a Gettysburg Christmas. We'll be right back after these words.
Want to be on the show? Send an email to info@addressinggettysburg.com. Be sure to include the reason why you think you'd make a good guest when you write us.
When Johnny comes marching home again, hurrah, hurrah. We'll give him a hearty welcome.
Want the freshest cup of coffee in Gettysburg? Then visit Bantam Roasters, formerly 82 Cafe at 82 Steinware Avenue. They roast all of their coffee in-house, and they have a full coffee bar to keep you caffeinated during your trip. Visit them at www.raggededgerc.com for their menu and shipping options for all of their freshly roasted coffee. Use promo code Hancock for 10% off your order in the cafe.
Enjoy historical stories on the History Fix platform. Explore movies, short films, and documentaries. Addressing Gettysburg podcast fans receive an extra $5 off the first year's annual subscription. Sign up at historyfix.com and use promo code Gettysburg. Every subscription includes a 7-day risk-free trial. Escape into history with History Fix.
This episode of Addressing Gettysburg is brought to you in part by me, audiobook narrator Mike Scott. Narrator of Savis Beattie's Bloody Autumn, the Shenandoah Valley Campaign of 1864, and Unlike Anything That Ever Floated, the Monitor and Virginia and the Battle of Hampton Roads. If you are an author or publisher interested in having your titles produced as audiobooks, or even just in learning more about the process, give me a shout. You can find my contact info on my website, MikeScottVoice.com. That's MikeScottVoice.com.
The 1863 civilians of Gettysburg were reluctant witnesses to the Great Battle. Join Ken Rich, the man in the red shirt, for his historic town walking tours. You could book these tours by emailing ken@GettysburgTownHistory.com. That's ken@GettysburgTownHistory.com. And when you're in town, look for the guy in the red shirt.
And Civil War Trails. It's the world's largest open-air museum, and they offer over 1,300 sites across 6 states. Drive the Gettysburg campaign turn by turn, paddle to Frederick Douglass's birthplace, or hike to remote earthworks and artillery positions. Visit civilwartrails.org to request a brochure and explore their interactive map. Follow Civil War Trails and create some history of your own.
You're listening to the Addressing Gettysburg podcast with Matt Callery.
Listening to the man who refuses to travel while single. I love that I never read these before I start doing. Okay, all right. You're listening to the man who refuses to travel while single. Here's Matt.
717-420-1978. 717-420-1978 is the phone number to call. If you want to talk to us, you want to say hi to Bo, whatever. Casey, that's the number that you call. The phone lines are now open. Everybody is excited. The world rejoices because the phone lines are open. So we've got we don't have it ready, but next week I'm going to play the trailer for A Gettysburg Christmas, which is a film that was shot last January into early February. I believe it was January 18th to February 4th, if I recall correctly.
You're right.
Yes, I believe I am.
Yes.
And because I remember on the 17th, I went to the dentist and he said, "You need a root canal."
I was there.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
And
that was horrible.
He said, "We need to schedule that." And I said, "He's like, when do you want to do it?"
Now.
Well, I can't get it on. I got to do it through the computer.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, I'll do it next week. And he goes, when would you like? We'll have the girls schedule. When's good for you? And I said, well, this movie's not done till the 4th, so after the 4th. And he goes, "You're not going to make it to the 4th." And I was like, oh. I said, all right, well,
really
as soon as
throw a
possible.
Monkey wrenching.
It did, because the next day you shot 3 crowd scenes, and I got into none of them. And
I was in none of them either. I wonder.
Yeah, but I was promised a prominent role in the background of every crowd scene, and it was going to be like a Where's Waldo thing. And it ended up being no Matt.
This is kind of before Matt and I became doing this.
Oh, I see.
So I wasn't invited.
Oh, well, all you had to do was get in touch with him and tell him you wanted to do it, and he would have told me, and I would have made sure it happened.
Mm-hmm.
Not easy. It's easy. Easy peasy.
See, you're a sweetheart, because I would have totally have done that too.
Oh, isn't that nice?
Next time.
Okay.
Oh, that's so sweet of you.
We'll get you in there.
All right.
Yeah. Wow, I'm so glad that you had this moment.
Can I also give hugs to people? Okay, thanks.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. Well, every
I like
set
to
needs a
hug.
hugger.
I know. Oh, can I be in the credits as the professional hugger?
Sure.
Yes.
Wow.
Oh. Bucket list achieved.
That was your bucket list?
I swear to God, I asked my mother. On my bucket list is to become a professional hugger. Like to just.
See,
there are actually people that do that.
I know.
Okay, so there's a little problem with that now.
Yeah.
On
It's
set
called post-COVID.
because of the Me Too movement.
Well, and
so-
COVID and Me Too. You're gonna have. Well, no, but she could get away with that.
I'm
You
not
have to
going
be
to
very
grope
careful.
people while I hug them.
It takes
It's
one
just a
phone
hug.
call to SAG and you're shut down,
Yeah.
Even just an accusation.
That's true.
It's
but,
terrible.
But if you can you be certified as a hugger? Because I know there are people that do that.
Certified hugger.
Snuggler, right?
I don't want to snuggle. I just want to hug.
But it's the same idea.
No, it's not really.
So it's just a hug.
Do you know?
Maybe for 30
Just a
seconds.
hug.
Like,
A
Pat on the
snuggle is-
back.
I'm telling you right now, the number of people that I have hugged that have been like, I needed that. It does really. Help
isn't
people.
that a
Some
nice
people are
feeling,
like-
though,
some
when you
people
do
are like,
that?
Please don't ever do that again, but that's okay.
Yeah. But when you give somebody a hug and they go, that really meant a lot to me.
Yeah.
Yes, that is nice. Very rare.
No, well.
No, very rare that I
hug a
hug
lot of
somebody.
people.
Yeah,
Okay.
you're a hugger. I'm not a hugger. I hug certain
Are
people.
you a hand holder?
I'll just hold somebody's hand and I go,
One of
you'll
the
be
girls-
okay. You'll
I don't
be
like to
okay."
hold hands.
One of the girls I used to work with did not like hugs. So if somebody came up to her to hug, she'd go, nope. And she'd do this to you.
Really?
Yeah.
Do like, nope, like
Yeah.
that?
Just grab your wrist?
She would just, that was her version of a hug. She would circle your wrist like this.
Oh, like do that?
Yeah.
What is that about?
That was how she
That's
hugged
hilarious.
Well, because the pulse is there, it goes straight to your heart.
you.
Maybe
I
that's
don't
it.
think that's had anything to do with it, but
What do I know?
that's what she would do.
Okay, well, look, everybody's weird.
Chattanooga.
Everybody's got their thing.
Everybody's got their thing. That's
Oh,
for
your twang came out there.
My thing.
Hardcore.
Chattanooga.
Yeah, well,
Yep.
Texas.
This is just an education guess.
Education guess.
Who said that?
Cam.
Oh, there's a swamp dragon.
Oh, gosh. Where is that boy?
He's around.
Now, this is just a hypothesis.
No, he's not here
Aha,
today. He's probably at work or on his way home from work now.
He's probably on his way. He's downstairs at the doorbell right now.
Yeah, well, if you're on your way, Cameron, there's a doorbell now, so please do not bang on the door. But I don't think he's on his way. He didn't say he was coming. All right, so let's get back into a Gettysburg Christmas, though. So it's coming out.
This is kind of appropriate music.
The big premiere, right, is on November 27th, right?
Yes.
All right, and then now I told you, and I don't know if you got impatient and went and did something already, but I told you I got a venue for you for the concert.
Yeah. That's
Yes,
great.
on the 26th.
Fantastic.
So we just need to figure out how we're going to ticket it and how, all that with the venue and everything like that. But it's, I'll show, well, if you come to dinner with us tonight, I'll show you the room because it's at the place where we'll go to dinner.
Okay.
All right. But anyway, what?
Really?
Savorhood.
Yeah.
So, yeah, November 27th is the premiere, and the 26th, Elizabeth Lee and a girl from Pennsylvania, Bucks County, they play a lot together. She, of course, Elizabeth lives in Germany most of the time.
Oh, Germany.
Yeah, she's from Texas. She has a small place in Texas, but she's married and lives in Germany, and most of her gigs are in Europe.
Wow.
She tours every year. She's been touring for 25 years.
Good for her. And she did music on the soundtrack.
Yes.
And wasn't there a guy involved too?
Yeah, well, Greg Platzer from Gettysburg.
Right.
He has an awesome song called "It's Christmas," and it's the end title song. It's a terrific song.
And
I
so,
just love it.
and
yeah.
is he going to be?
He'll be playing with them because
Okay,
I hooked
good.
them all up. And
Perfect.
and so they're going to have a gig here. And
So it's a
thanks to
Gettysburg
you.
Christmas concert, a Matt Calorie production, and
you go.
in association with Addressing Gettysburg.
Whatever you want.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
Just as a warning, on the day that it premieres, I'm working at the
Premier. It's pronounced Premier.
premiere.
I pray it's a premiere.
I will be working at the train station, which is right next door.
Oh.
So say hi.
Well, like, you don't want to come? You can't
I have
make
to
it.
work.
It's at night.
I know.
What?
We're going to stay open.
I mean,
so
the
that-
tickets
That's
are
smart. That's
like-
smart.
Gone.
Yeah.
I mean, gone.
Tickets are gone. Yes, and now wait. Is there a what do you call it? A what's the word I'm looking
Red
for,
carpet.
guys? Yeah, like no, like a reception afterwards, or that's done.
No,
That's not happening.
No. It's just a screening. We are going to have the lights on the building that go crisscross.
Oh yeah.
That'll be fun. So yeah, well, I'm sure we'll go somewhere afterwards, and
Are you
there'll
gonna
be
have a red carpet?
festivities. I'm not a big red carpet guy. I mean, it's Gettysburg. It's like it's just a little Christmas
a blue
movie,
and gray
man.
carpet.
I mean, it's not Gone with the Wind. It's just a little Christmas movie.
But so this is the thing a lot because there's the brass band. They come during Christmas and everything. It's right. So and a lot of people don't know this. A couple of years ago, Cameron was substitute teaching down in West Virginia, and they put him in the music department one day because the music teacher wasn't there. Oh. And Cam doesn't have a background in music, but he still got them to do one of his favorite Christmas songs, the Dance of the Sugar Plum Fairies and everything. We have recorded. So this is going to be performed right before the show. It goes like this. This is a Cameron Mallow arrangement. It's going to be great. No, but really, I'm looking forward to it.
That will not be part of the show.
So the trailer, we'll play the trailer next week. I have to tell you, being that I had the dental issues, I missed more of the shooting than I had wanted to miss. Yeah. I didn't want to miss any of it. I wanted to be part of all of it. And of course, the star of the background. And so I didn't, but it's cool to see the shots in the trailer, because, you recognize the town and everything like that. Yeah. But, and there's so many videos all over the internet of, the Lincoln statue or the square or whatever the case may be. But there's very few that are done by a professional film crew that are also then color graded later on to make it look like a movie as opposed to somebody's home video.
Right.
And
sound mix, too.
Yeah, sound mix and everything. And it was
underscore all that.
It looks really good. It looks really good, and I'm not a fan of this type of stuff. No, right? Yeah. Most red-blooded American men aren't, but I really think this looks pretty good because it's a little different, Bo. It's not your typical Hallmarky Christmas movie.
I did not want it to be. Yeah, right. I shot it as a film, not a TV movie. And. But it deals with some real issues too, some family issues, and it's still got the little love, thing in there. But
it's not mainly the love thingy.
No, it's not.
That's secondary to the family issue.
Yeah, yeah.
And the family issues, the dad and the daughter don't get along.
Yeah,
because
don't give away the plot.
No, we're not giving away the ending.
Okay. She had left 2 years before and had been. Living on this apple farm outside of Gettysburg, and had been estranged from her family for a couple of years. So this is like their reunion, and it, at first it's not great, Yeah. So anyway, I think the actors did a fantastic job, and I just love Bruce Boxlight.
Yeah,
I've known him now for all these years, and he's we were married to the same woman.
Your ex-husbands-in-law.
We're ex-husbands-in-law,
yes.
And I met him way before then, though.
Right.
And we have two sons that are half brothers.
Right.
So that's we have a real strong, and we did. I introduced him to Ron Maxwell. And when he was married to my ex-wife,
right,
and he
did
Gods and Generals with us,
yeah.
So we just have every time we get together, we have so much fun, and he did such a great job in this film. And I'll tell you who else was just knocked it out of the ballpark was Kelly Jekyll,
the lead.
Yeah. She's very subtle in her acting, and she just did a fantastic job. Everybody did. We had a cast that just really connected early on. And they were all friends of mine. I did not have a casting director on this. I usually have a casting director when I'm casting a film. But this one was, I literally called people and said, hey, I'm going to send you a script. I want you to do this film with me.
Yeah.
That's cool.
It was, I really had fun with Bruce because, he had a lot of, he was an 18-day shoot, I think, and he had 10 of those days off.
It was actually a 15-day shoot.
Oh, right, you finished early.
But we did a lot of shooting before we started the official shooting. I mean, like the sleigh that goes into the Sachs Bridge, the horse-drawn sleigh. We did that.
Way before.
Way before. So
Sharon was telling me about that.
Yeah. We, I didn't want to put that on the schedule because it takes too much time. I knew the time constraints of a 15-day shoot was really, tough. But we actually finished a couple of days that we had couple of hours we finished early, But
that wasn't the point of my story.
Oh. I know.
I do want to say one thing,
Just
though.
busted your balls.
I do want to thank you very much for putting Bruce in the movie because now, after that was the one thing in all of this that made me cool, because my husband is a huge fan of his. But from
Tron.
Probably
Tron.
Scarecrow, Mrs. King.
Actually, no.
The other one.
Tron.
The Babylon 5.
Babylon 5.
Babylon 5. So my
Gambler?
husband is a huge Babylon 5 person.
Did they get to meet?
No.
Oh.
But when Mark found out that he was going to be here, now Gettysburg's cool.
Well,
I've been
on the same
telling him this
token.
for what? We've been married for 13 years. But now it's cool.
Yeah. On the same token, my mother is finally proud of me because she's a big fan of handsome men.
Yeah.
And I got Bruce and Lee Majors to send her a video saying hi. And now she said, "You're back in the will."
All right.
Oh,
Yay.
good job.
Fantastic.
Thank you, Bruce. I mean, thank you, Bo.
Lee was fantastic too, and Tom. Everybody was. Lee was. It was a lot of fun to work with him, and
yeah,
he was just. He had so much fun in Gettysburg. At first, he was like doing me a favor.
Yeah.
It was like, all right, fine, and all this stuff, and I'm like, okay, just thank you, He's so gruff sometimes, He's a sweetheart, really. And then he got here and he had so much fun. He's like, "Is it all right if I stay a few more days?"
Oh, really?
See,
I didn't know
place
that.
brings people in.
It does. It's a great little town. And you got me a gig as his assistant for the 3 days he was shooting.
Yes.
And the first day was out at the Christmas tree farm. What's the name?
The Showers Tree Farm.
Showers Tree Farm. And have you been out there? It's really pretty.
Oh.
Again, I'm not allowed to go places.
Well, you need to make Marco let you go because their views out there are really nice. Anyway, so you guys are out there shooting, and he has so it was like 9 o'clock in the morning. He had a couple lines to do at the tree stand.
Yeah,
and then you didn't need him till like 3:30 in the afternoon. So like 10:30 in the morning, we go back to this barn that's got this awesome wood-burning stove with a blower that's blowing the heat around. It's nice and toasty, and it's got some big screen TVs on it's like a man cave, basically, up on the wall, and a couple of recliners. And so he and I are sitting there, and next thing I know, we're both just taking naps. It was like the best day ever. And then 3:30 in the afternoon, they needed him for the shoot.
By the way, Matt, your mom just threw you some love in the comments.
Oh, what did she say?
She just hearts.
Those are sarcastic hearts.
How can you tell the difference?
Because
it's called I'm the child of this woman. That's how you know.
Right. Yeah. No, of course, that is self-deprecating, those things I say about her finally being proud of me because of that. She was finally proud of me because of addressing Gettysburg, not because of hanging out with handsome old guys.
Matt's mom, he was crying earlier.
So she forgave you for the 2-year stretch that you did at Rikers for that knocking over the liquor stand?
Well, she blamed it. Yeah, she knows that it was the cashier's fault for not just giving it to me. And I had to get violent, No, anyway, and with Bruce, it was a lot of fun because he has an ancestor who was in the 8th Illinois Cavalry. And I said, "Oh, they started the battle." And so I took him out to the first shot marker. I took him on a tour, and almost every day he'd call me. He'd be like,
"Hey, Matt, it's Bruce."
And I'm like, "Hey, Bruce, how are you?" And he's like,
what are you doing? You doing anything?"
No, just kind of hanging out. He goes,
"Well, let's do something. I'm bored hanging out in this hotel. It's let's go somewhere."
Meanwhile, it's cold and rainy.
You sounded just like him.
That's why I have to use the thing to distort my voice so I sound like him. And so I'm like, "All right, well, where do you want to go? What do you want to do?"
"Oh, I don't know. You're the guide. You tell me.
I said, "Well, how about we'll go to East Cavalry Field? That's where Custer fought."
"Oh, I love Custer. All right, we'll go out to Custer."
And then so we went out there. I took him out there, that one day, and then another day I gave him a whole tour of the battlefield, and then, Kate. Vernon, thank you. Kate joined us one day because she had the day off, so I took them around. I took them to the visitor center, and I had a lot of fun with them. They were great. The funny thing about Bruce, though, is so when Kate was there especially, right? Kate's in the back seat, Bruce is up front. So we're going around, and I'm saying, and so over here, this is John Buford's statue, and John Buford was in command of the cavalry, and they kind of started the battle off and everything. And then Bruce would interrupt and go, "Hey, just imagine everywhere you look,
That sounds just like it.
men with horses, firing at each other and coming up the road is blah, blah. And I'd be like, well, not exactly, whatever. So he'd interrupt all the time and tell her something. I'd be like, not quite. And I felt like a real jerk correcting him all the time.
Yeah.
But anyway, I had a great time with that. And even though, unfortunately for the listeners of Addressing Gettysburg, there's really no point in watching the movie now because I'm not in it. But you should watch it anyway. That's what you should watch it anyway. Maybe we'll do it for Film Club. I don't know.
There you go.
So just so we're clear for future.
Yeah, I'll be in the future ones that.
No.
Oh.
If you bring somebody of famous to the visitor center,
right?
And my office is literally right upstairs.
Yeah, I didn't know you at the time.
You just say, "Hey Beth, can you come downstairs, please?"
Well, you know what I did? I introduced him to Matt Atkinson.
What? What? End of the day right there.
No, because he was there at the information, and I said, "Oh, this will make his day." So I brought them over and I introduced him to Matt.
There you go.
He's the only person I knew.
We can't even be friends anymore. Matt, I love you very much, but
thank you.
What? Another Matt.
Oh. What?
No.
Listen, Beth. Look. First of all,
we're
Bo,
done.
if you're hanging out with someone who's famous, do they like when the person that's giving them a show around say, "Hold on, let me tell all my friends to come out and bother you"?
No, I mean, remember when so-and-so showed up at the lobby? And,
yeah, and then Lee pretended that he was on the phone.
Yeah.
And then the phone rang.
yeah.
But yeah, no, that, yeah.
And he pulled me over and he goes, "Hey, Matt wasn't going to introduce his friends to me, was he?"
He didn't say that.
Yes, he did.
No, he didn't.
Yes, he did.
The hell? No, because I asked you to do it. I said, "Can you introduce them to Lee?"
I know him.
I know. I didn't want to do it. No, I was his assistant. I didn't want to do that. But no, he was cool too. It was a lot of fun.
He liked you a lot.
I think that. Well, of course he did, Bo.
He did.
I mean, come on.
He found you very interesting.
Yeah, I know.
He's serious. He really
Stop
did.
lying.
You had. I'm telling you, Kate, and Bruce and Lee and Tom really thought you were great.
I had a great time. Well, so we brought Tom out. Me, Bruce, and Tom went out. And Tom is actually, his day job is a geologist.
Yes.
Tom Vera. And he, I'd take him around, I'm showing him the history and everything like that. And then we get down to Devil's Den. And he's like, "So what happened here?" I'm like, "Yeah, some fighting took place." Now you tell me, what the hell am I looking at with these giant boulders? Yeah. And he used terminology I'd never heard before, and he really explained it.
Devil's Den?
Oh, that's
the
cool.
Devil's Den.
All the formations.
And it's what the Park Service says, but he used a lot like deeper scientific terms because the Park Service, what they use is for public consumption, and I told Tom to show off. Like I really wanted to know. So basically, what it is like, imagine that whole Hawks Ridge, right? Underneath the soil is what you see at Devil's Den. It's these giant boulders. But for whatever reason, and I thought he was saying that the dirt for whatever reason eroded there and it's gone. And so as he was using the big fancy terms, I mean like, so like it eroded, like something washed it away, and he said no. And then he explained it, and I still don't understand it. But for whatever reason, the topsoil is all gone around Devil's Den. But if you were to take the topsoil off of all of Hawks Ridge, it would look like Devil's Den underneath.
Ah,
that's what he said.
That's interesting.
Okay.
And he's a geologist.
Yes.
So I take his word. Yeah.
He'll be back for the premiere.
So now, who's coming back for the premiere?
Well, because of the SAG strike, we can't bring up actors.
Really?
No. Because they're not allowed to be at the premiere, or they would see it as Screen Actors Guild would see it as promoting the film.
What if I might have a loophole here? So you know how there's a balcony, right? Or the mezzanine, whatever they call it there at the thing. What if they never interact with the public and nobody knows they're there? They just get to, and then make them wear a disguise.
Well, actually, as long as they, they can come on their own and they can watch the movie. They can interact. They just can't do any press or
officially
do anything.
But they're not going to come on their own they're not going to pay to get out
They're
here.
not going to pay to get
Right.
out here.
We do have a guest room at the house if any of them want to stay.
Well, Tom Barra's coming for sure.
Yeah.
And Larissa Dolly, who played the Melody.
Mm-hmm.
They're coming for sure. And I, unless somebody wants to, anybody out there wants to do a ticket for Bruce
Foot the
Boxleitner
bill
and
for
his
Bruce?
wife.
Well, my mom
call Gettysburg, addressing Gettysburg, and let's get some tickets because Bruce would really like to come.
My mom just said, "What?" and then put a crying face emoji. She was really hoping to stalk Bruce.
Well, Cocktails with Bruce, or anybody that wants to buy some airplane tickets.
$4,000. What? How much does it cost?
I don't know.
$4,000, couple
No,
grand.
not that much.
Couple grand. Got to put them up in a hotel.
Yeah, a couple of $1,000.
Yeah,
but it's not bad. 2,000 or 3,000 is the whole trip.
There you go.
And
So
and
there you
airline
go.
tickets.
Everybody start
Gotta
getting
be
those
very
checkbooks
careful
out.
with this crowd, by the way. Somebody's doing it right now.
I'm tapped, so But
I was going to ask, what if the strike ends?
What if the strike ends?
Well, then it'll be too late to buy tickets because buying last-minute tickets can cost a ton of money.
Great. My mom just canceled her reservation. So now there's 2 more free tickets that I have.
Great, I'm in.
63rd caller gets the... okay, yeah. There's 1 free ticket left. Oh, no, Bethany wants to go. Never mind, there's no
Are you
tickets.
going to be asking questions or something?
No, so this is a different thing, Bo. That's what we want to get into now.
No,
okay.
wait. At
What?
the Gettysburg...
Yes.
At the
Movie.
Gettysburg Christmas premiere... Are you going to be asking questions, or is that going to be on the Gettysburg premiere? The Gettysburg reunion.
So at the Gettysburg reunion,
right?
At the Adams County Historical Society at 9 a.m. on the 14th. You need to know this. You, Joseph Fuquay, and myself are doing a panel.
Okay, a panel.
A panel.
Do I need to buff up on my history, or
No. We're going to talk about the movie like I've done with you guys 1,000 times.
You did 30 years ago.
Right. You need to. We'll go over the movie.
I'll reread the script.
Okay, good. Did you make notes on it? Like,
just tell the same stories you've told.
I did a lot of research on my character months before I did the film. Yeah, I did.
Are you
Stared at
aware
pictures
of
of them.
how your lines are used?
Oh yeah, he knows.
Oh yeah.
That people like quote them all the time.
They love. Yeah.
We have Flapjacks and Small Mountains.
Well, I think the most
Someone has
famous.
already said that.
I have a T-shirt coming out.
The most famous one is this one though. Followed by.
Yes, sir.
Those are the ones that everybody really knows.
Yes,
People
sir.
walk down the street just going.
Yes, sir.
There's a reason why I did it like that. It was,
All right, go ahead.
because
Tell
he
us.
always.
No, don't give it away because we want people to come to the thing on the 14th.
Oh, okay.
Don't tell the big secret why you said it that
Yeah,
way.
it wasn't like
I told you there is no time for that.
I love that one.
Yeah.
I told you I was in the room. I think when he said that.
No, you weren't.
I was standing outside the room.
We know exactly where you were at all times.
Yeah.
Oh my God, this is going to be on a T-shirt.
There is no time. I have told you there is no time for that. There is no time.
Please. I would like one of those, please.
Yeah, no, they'll be ready in a couple of weeks.
I just...
Yes.
Situation is very
Can you
confused.
see it?
Yeah, it says we have Flapjacks and Small Mountains, and it's autographed by Bo.
My,
there it is.
My sister, who has zero interest in history, says that all the time. All the time.
She says
every time she makes pancakes.
I love that.
Yeah.
It's so cool.
It's gone beyond the fan base.
Yeah.
It's just as long as you like pancakes, I think people.
Yeah.
Flapjacks.
What the hell's the difference? What is the difference?
One's southern and one is northern.
Is that
You
all
think
it
that's
is?
I think it really is.
It's just the same thing, but yeah, I hope so.
I think so.
Because we have a whole plan for a business based on
Flapjacks.
Flapjacks.
Yeah.
Flapjacks.
And I've been picturing pancakes the whole time. I boil them. I boil mine.
Oh, why would you do that?
What are you talking about?
You don't boil pancakes?
You can deep fry. Boil.
Deep fry is different. I'm talking boiling water.
Oh,
Big
no.
pot of water.
Don't do that.
No,
don't
you
do
don't
any
boil.
of
Well, you could take some pancake batter and boil it. I mean, and fry it, right?
that. Yeah. It
Sounds
sounds good.
pretty good.
Yeah.
not good.
Sure. I mean,
Oh.
I guess I don't know. I'm not
Okay.
Like Indian fry bread, you can do.
According to this website,
Oh my God, Debbie, I love you.
This is why I'm the Googler. Crepes are the thinnest version, flapjacks are thicker, and pancakes are somewhere in between.
Wow, how about that?
So there is a difference.
There's a difference.
Apparently, it's based off the thickness of the cake.
Unbelievable. I'd
So
like to.
Flapjacks are thinner, maybe, than pancakes.
Yes. No.
No, opposite.
No, other way
Pancakes are thinner than flapjacks.
Crepes are the thinnest of all. Flapjacks are thicker, and pancakes fall between the two.
Okay.
Andy says, I had a friend who threatened to make boiled toast for his grandkids when they misbehaved.
Wow.
Boiled toast.
Boiled toast. Wow.
Wait, was somebody just said, I want to thank Drew Peanuts for his super like. He says, I love this channel. Love Bo. Wish Hollywood would do more Civil War pictures. Also, what is your favorite Western theater battle? Who are you asking? All of us? I would say maybe Shiloh. I think Shiloh's kind of interesting. How about Beth? You got one?
I'm Vicksburg.
Okay. Why do you do it like that? Like, are you from Vicksburg?
Because it's like the same time period as Gettysburg.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Yes.
It have to be Lone Pines.
True.
Glorietta Pass.
Glorietta Pass. Oh, okay. Now you're going out there. How about you, Debbie?
Ooh, I would say either Shiloh or Chickamauga.
Okay. Yeah, Chickamauga. Yep.
Have you ever been there?
No. What?
It's true that once you've been to Gettysburg, you were spoiled for all battlefields.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Yeah. But Chickamauga has just the U.S. regular type monuments
Right.
everywhere.
Yeah.
And that's really it.
Okay.
And so I remember I was 16. We went down there, and I remember my poor cousin who was so excited that she was taking me on this trip. And I was like, where's the rest of it?
Yeah,
She's
right,
like,
right.
I'm pretty sure this is it. I'm like, whatever.
This isn't a battlefield.
Where are the pretty monuments?
It is true,
There are
though.
a handful of them.
But not like
Yeah, but not like here.
Louisiana,
true.
North Carolina.
I think there's a giant, I think it's an Illinois monument, and that's like the biggest one on the battlefield.
It's
Doesn't
not
come
nearly as
anywhere close
exciting.
to what we've got.
Drew Peanuts sent another super like, and see, the super likes are money. They send you a little bit of money, so he sent a couple
yay.
bucks, and then you know I have to read what he says. Funny thing is about the writer strike, no one cares. So that's what he said there. No one cares.
Yes.
I mean, is that really like you think that's what is it all about, Bo? Tell me what is it AI?
Yeah, that's a lot of it.
And the actors join them for the same reason.
Well, so I've had many opportunities to. I'm not a big joiner of anything,
Right.
You know, and I do not belong to Writers Guild. I didn't want to ever join that guild. But
you are in the Lollipop Guild, correct?
Absolutely.
Okay.
But the reason why, I mean, there's several reasons, but one of them is the big is AI, because now, I mean, there's going to be a time when the studios are just like, okay, here are the parameters for the screenplay that we need on this thing, you know?
Yeah.
Boom. You know, we don't need writers anymore.
And then you just have like a writer on by to make it sound human if there's like a goofy part in it or something.
I mean, AI is getting scary. With the Screen Actors Guild, which I've been part of for many, many years, a lot of it is that you just get buyouts on streaming. There's no residuals on streaming. I have so many friends that have done. Jake Busey, he was on Stranger Things.
Yeah.
You know, and he worked on a whole season and, you know, never saw a residual.
Really?
No, and you don't get residuals for any of it.
Because it's
Any of the
not
streaming.
it's not pay per view. How would you get residuals?
Yeah, it's subscription.
Right.
All right.
And then you can watch it as many times as you want.
Yeah, but I mean, you know, the streaming services, I mean, you know, make billions of dollars.
And they're
a
not
month.
telling you how many views your shows are getting.
Right. So that there has to be something done there, and I'm with them all the way on that. Well, it's my guild. But the other thing is AI as well. You know, if they can buy your likeness in forever,
Do whatever.
and you know, I mean, we could see a Charlton Heston movie if.
But
you know,
but now wait, how can they legally
through
do
AI.
that though? Doesn't Charlton Heston's, for example, image belong to his estate or foundation or whatever he's got.
Yeah.
So, like, in other words, they could, Spielberg could come along and say, Bo Brinkman, I want to make a movie and I want you to be in it, and here's your part, here's your contract. He's got a little bit of that kind of a
You're
list.
talking spud chalk.
What is it?
Spud chalk.
Is that what you call
we
that?
call it spud chalk.
Spud chalk.
Yeah, Steven doesn't really talk spud chalk.
What?
Spud chalk.
Why do you call it that?
I don't know. We all called it spud
Who's
chalk.
we?
Well, everybody, all my friends would.
In Texas or in Hollywood?
Spud chalk.
Spud chalk.
Just talk like this.
Talk like
Spud.
Spud.
Chalk.
What does that have to do with Spuds?
I don't know.
Spuds McKenzie.
There's others that do it much better than me.
Okay. Anyway, so he comes along and he says, Bo, I want you to be in this movie. Here's a contract. And in there is a clause that says, once you're in this movie, we can use your image now belongs to us in perpetuity.
Right.
You still have to sign that contract. So everybody's getting all, oh, no. But if nobody signs the contracts, then they can't do it. Am I wrong?
Yeah, but I think it's more
But then you don't
complicated
work.
than that. You know, yeah, or they, yeah.
It's always.
Well, what about the guy from whose name I can never remember that was in Star Wars that they did that to?
Sir Alec Guinness?
No.
Back to the Future.
Yes.
They did that to. Actually, it ruined his career because the people in power ruined his career. But Back to the Future 2. Who was the actor that played Leah Thompson's?
Oh, Chris Glover.
Crispin Glover. Oh, that's
Glover.
right. Yeah.
They had his likeness in the second film because he didn't want to do it. He did not get along with the director. It was a nightmare, and he didn't want to come
also
back.
Weird.
He's very strange. And so they used his likeness, and he sued him for it.
I remember that. And
he
won.
won about, I think it was $2 million.
Did he win or did they settle? I thought I read that
I think
he
they
settled.
Yeah. But still, it was like a couple of $1 million, and it pissed the powers that be off.
And
big
that was
time.
back in the 80s.
And he did not work forever because of that.
Well, of course not. Right. And then, So I guess
David Ovitz, who ran Creative Artists Agency, and Spielberg and all those guys, they hated him. And
because of that?
It hurt him. It hurt him big time.
They hated him, but they did something kind of seedy.
Yeah,
like that's not cool.
No,
You're going to
I
use the
don't think
guys.
it's cool.
Like I can't take.
But there was so much money riding on it. I mean, it's kind of hard to replace him. And
if you're the public and you want to see the second installment,
and they took. I think they took outtakes a lot from the first one. And,
yeah. Very clever.
Yeah,
because they didn't have the technology we have today.
No.
So they had to be really clever with that.
Yeah.
And I think when he's hanging upside down, that's a body double. I think, but they use his voice from a scene in the previous movie or something.
Yeah.
I saw a documentary about that.
I mean, I've seen, I've heard people going, "Oh, the hell with these actors! They're striking for all this stuff and all that." Well, when you're thinking about the huge actors, the 1%er actors that are doing, $28 million a movie is one thing, but it's really about everybody else. It's not making. You don't make a lot of money as an actor these days. Mm-hmm. You really don't.
It's not the same.
It's not the same.
It's not the way it used to be
as a kid. So
apparently there was a guy named Peter Cushing. There was a Star Wars guy that they did that to.
Yes,
too.
that's what I was just.
Is that
Peter
I'm
Cushing.
sorry. I'm sorry,
That's
sweetheart.
Right.
I'm
That's
sorry.
Right. No,
he doesn't listen.
Couldn't remember either. But yeah, Peter Cushing. They did that.
But he's gone. And they used his voice and his image
likeness,
and he can't say anything about it.
Well, I wonder if his estate
But
could.
that's what I'm saying. Can his estate?
It's going to get really dicey with this whole AI thing. I can promise you that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty scary how it all.
I just used it for the first time yesterday, and it was
for what?
Terrifying. I wanted to make up a proposal for an intern, and I'm a horrible writer. And so I did bullet points and I put it in the chat, whatever. And it came back with a beautifully written paragraph.
Do you have to pay for that?
I don't know. I actually did it through another guy that I work with.
Okay, so he might already have it.
So I was like, can you put this in there and just see?
Yeah, I think it's dangerous because there's going to be a lot of cheating in many different ways.
It's happening in schools.
It's already happening.
Of course it is. It's just going to get
already
worse.
happening.
Yeah.
And it's
telling
going to dumb us down even more.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, because you're not going to have to learn anything. But I was talking about this with a friend of mine who's a professor, history professor, and she goes, well, the thing is with history papers, for example, you have to be able to source it. So you got to be able. So unless AI has all of the source, it can actually go and source it, which they may not be able to do now, but eventually it will be able to.
Yeah.
And with footnotes or endnotes or whatever and everything, it's going to be really hard to.
A lot of my friends who teach that are going to, like, instead of essays or take home stuff, they are doing
in class. Yeah.
Like in front of the teacher. Yeah.
Because
and that means that you just have to get your iPhone down lower.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Well, because they don't actually write
are
anymore.
Starting to install jammers. Did you see that?
Whoa.
Well, I'll tell you what, my doctor's office does. My doctor's office has jammers.
Yeah.
What is that about?
Because of the equipment.
Well, I'm going to hack into the equipment with my phone?
I don't know what the reason
Oh,
is.
like how you have to turn your phone off on an airplane, which supposedly isn't true anymore.
But with some of the equipment in a hospital, you do.
Okay.
I would imagine.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's fair then. It
Like
scared the hell out of me because
the
it just
stuff
said SOS only. I was like, what does that mean,
Yeah.
SOS only?
All the stuff in nuclear medicine, in that department, you don't want to have your cell phone on around.
That makes sense. Okay. Drew Peanuts, another super like. Thanks again, sir. Writer strike equals no more late night TV. Oh, no.
Yeah.
That's
something I can go along with.
Yeah. It hasn't been funny in a long since Carson died.
Yeah.
Or since
it's
Letterman
horrible.
retired, actually.
Yeah.
Rich Snyder said, I really enjoyed Matt's interview with Bruce Boxleitner and hearing him talk about working with James Arness. He was a hero of mine growing up. The other interview I really liked was Jake Busey, because I took him around the battlefield. He was only here
a couple
2 days.
of days. He did the film as a favor for me, and I wrote him in a role because I just wanted him to come up. And
Oh, that's cool.
And he's a dear friend of mine, and
wrote him a role.
And
I'm picking my
played
nose
Sam
at getting
the
root canals, and
Sam the bartender.
Sam, yeah. There's never been a Sam the bartender in any movie or television show before. Right?
I know, right?
Ted Danson. So
I should have said Jake the bartender.
You just call him Jake, yeah.
Yeah.
No, but he was really nice too. He was fun. That was probably I don't know. It was hard to say, but that was really cool to hang around him because I grew up watching his movies. He's not that much older than I am.
No.
And so
5 years.
He's something like that. He's like so my generation.
Yeah.
And in the 90s he was like in everything.
Yes, he was.
And
by the way, he finished Rust.
I saw that. So did he take Alec Baldwin's place?
No,
or did they do a rewrite or something?
I don't know if they did a rewrite, but he may have replaced. I don't know. He didn't tell me. He was just excited. He spent a month in Montana.
Yeah,
and
I was following him on
Rust.
Instagram, and he had all these cool pictures up there.
Yeah.
I hope that is a shot in the arm for his career. Yes, Mike, I turned the phones on. Thank you for the super like. I hope that's a shot in the arm for his career because, that because of the Alec Baldwin situation, when that movie comes out, everybody's going to want to see it just to see.
Everybody's going to want to see
what this movie was, right?
Yeah.
Like they're going to show it.
Yeah.
Happening. Accidentally.
Well, exactly. They're not going to show that.
Well, it's funny because we're a tight network, net group, and everybody's careers goes up and down and stuff. And when Shane Black was doing Predator.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Jake was out of work, and I told Shane, I'm like, dude, you need to hire him. He's perfect for a role. I'd already read the script, and he goes, wow, I'm so glad you said that. That's a good idea. And he didn't say anything else to me. And then I get a call from Jake, and he's like, you son of a bitch. I can't believe it.
Nice.
I just got hired on Predator, and it was a big shot in the arm for him, and I think that's what he got him in Stranger Things, actually.
Well, I'll tell you something else.
So everybody goes up and down. It's just the way it is in this business,
That's the way it is in life.
Jake's a
for everybody.
fantastic actor, and I think he's going to grow into a hell of a character actor. I think his best years are actually in front of him.
I agree.
As an actor, he's a super smart guy too.
I'll tell you what. I'm going to go out on a limb here.
Oh no!
And I hope he sees this. I think he's a better actor than his dad.
Yes, I'll go along with that.
I really do.
Agreed.
I have a project. We have a project together that we've called The Heavy, and he's not going to age out of it for another 5 years. So I've got a good 5 years to get it done with him as the lead. And he'd just be fantastic in it. And then Lee's part of it too. I hope Lee doesn't actually age out of it, but
I think it's cool that you have this little cadre of people.
You're like John Ford with his stable of actors and actresses.
I think that's really neat.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's what's so fun about it is, you over a long period of time, you work with a lot of actors and, you become friends with some and some you're not crazy about.
Yeah.
And so, after a few years, you get this little dysfunctional circus of people. And anytime you've got a project going on, start calling people and going, hey, come on, let's go have some fun, That's the same thing with the whole Shane thing, and he does the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Shane Black, he'll call in friends that he's worked with over the years, and he's known Jake for a long time as well. But so we just always try to, because the business is so tough, we always try to get our friends work,
Sure.
Even if you're not working on a show that somebody might be right for. You just have to, you're always looking out for everybody.
Yeah, that is nice.
And I don't want to give too much away because it's just an idea right now, but we were talking before the show about a possible prequel to a Gettysburg Christmas.
Yeah. Gettysburg Christmas 1863.
1863.
With a professional hugger.
With an on-set hugger and a role written specially for me, walking by the window.
Sam the bartender.
So yeah, that would be really tricky. That's a really tricky. The story has to be very spiritual and not about so much the battle. And I was just telling Matt that last night I watched Little Women for the first time.
Which one?
The original 1949.
Oh, that's a good one.
Marvin Leroy that directed, who was a phenomenal director.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought it was so good. And it's kind of a Christmas movie because it starts at Christmas.
Yeah.
But you see everything through the windows of the house.
Like outside
they
the
do have
window.
some exteriors, but a lot of it is inside, and you see a lot of action through the windows. And I thought, wow, now that you could do.
Mm-hmm.
You could do a Gettysburg 1863, and you could hint at not hint, but you could show the destruction, and you could show, think about it. That's 6 months after the Battle of Gettysburg.
Yeah.
6 months afterwards.
Yep.
The town hadn't even really.
Yeah.
They were still
They're still reeling.
Reeling from it, the smell of death had just left the air a couple of months beforehand.
Maybe.
If you're looking at July, August, September, October, they could smell death all the way to Harrisburg, I believe. They could smell
I don't know.
7,500 dead horses and how many dead men.
They burn the horses.
Yeah.
And then,
and that's like something that a lot of even the park is trying to do now. They're trying
smell
to
the horses.
No,
horses.
They're trying to look at.
They're going to add smell-o-vision.
The town was
Smell-o-vision.
impacted. Oh Lord!
But no, that is such a story that's never been. The days after the battle, and then leading up to what kind of Christmas did they have, and how grateful were they?
Yeah,
how grateful were they to be alive and to have survived it? And
were they even
they've
thinking
still got
about Christmas?
Poison wells, and they're food shortages, and then they rejoice in
they
Christmas.
try to have some sense of normalcy,
some sort of normalcy. So
I have an idea. Of how to start it. Well, you want me to say it here, or I'll tell you during the break? I'll tell you during the break. And of course, like I said, there will be a part for me on this one. All right, so let's do this. We got some callers.
Sam the bartender.
Yeah.
Stan
the bartender.
At the McClellan House.
The McClellan House. Oh, yeah, that's right,
Yeah.
because that would have been there, yeah. All right, let's do this. We'll take a break. We got some callers queued up. Sorry, I already did that one. I'm sorry. You don't want to hear the same thing. We'll get to your calls right after this. We'll be right back. Seminary Ridge Museum and Education Center, Gettysburg's premier museum, is housed in the historic Lutheran Seminary building constructed in 1832, a witness to the first day of battle. The museum's 3 floors of exhibits connect visitors to the dilemmas that led to the Civil War, provide a powerful and personal view of the battle's first day, and explore one of the battlefield's largest hospitals. No visit to Seminary Ridge Museum and Education Center is complete without a guided tour of the building's famous cupola, where on the eve of battle, officers and civilians saw thousands of Confederate soldiers' campfires burning to the west, and Brigadier General John Buford watched for vital federal reinforcements as fighting erupted on the morning of July 1st. Today, you can stand where Buford stood and discover how this view helped chart the course of the Battle of Gettysburg. Your trip to Gettysburg is not complete without a serious visit to Seminary Ridge Museum and Education Center, Gettysburg's premier museum. Purchase tickets online at seminaryridgemuseum.org or call 717-339-1300.
To get tickets or a cupola tour, listeners may call or walk in and mention addressing Gettysburg, or by ordering online using the promo code AG1863 for 20% off.
Seminary Ridge Museum and Education Center. It began here.
There's a devil to pay.
If you're a lover of history, then go to trhistorical.com. There you'll find apparel, drinkware, decor, and more, featuring a wide range of interests from the ancient world to the Cold War. Looking to make an impression with the perfect gift? Well, TR Historical now offers gift cards and a vintage wrapping service for a truly unique presentation. And our listeners will receive 10% off plus free shipping in the U.S. when you use promo code GBERG1863. So go to trhistorical.com, TR Historical, for the love of history.
Think outside the bus and let family-owned Gettysburg Tours take you on a cycling journey across the picturesque and historic Gettysburg battlefield. There's no better way than by bicycle to gain a feel for the terrain of the battlefield. Slow enough to see it all, yet fast enough to do it all. Follow the route of Union troops entering the fray as you ride to the site of the first shots of this epic 3-day battle. Feel the drama as you put yourself in the position of a Confederate soldier just before he steps off to make Pickett's charge. Take a stand with the heroic Colonel Chamberlain on the slopes of Little Round Top, just before you view the fields of honor beneath you from its summit. All of our guides are officially licensed by the National Park Service. So don't get a sore neck trying to see out of your car, and saddle up with Gettysburg Tours for a 360-degree view of America's most important piece of real estate. Gettysburg Tours. Think outside the bus. Go to gettysburg.com or call 717-752-7752 to book a battlefield experience you will never forget.
You've heard us promote various ways that you can help us keep the show going, but one way we haven't pushed too much is our sutlery at addressinggettysburg.com/shop. That's a shame because we have designs over there by talented artists like Ty DeWitt of 1863 Designs and Mike Stretch of the Heritage Depot. So now we're promoting it. Buying shirts, hoodies, mugs, and other items from our sutlery not only helps us keep the lights on, but it also helps guys like Ty and Mike, and it helps spread the word about the show every time you wear an item or you sip from your mug. So head over to addressinggettysburg.com/shop and grab some merch. It's the perfect Christmas gift for the Gettys nerd in your family. That's addressinggettysburg.com/shop.
Have you noticed our revamped website at addressinggettysburg.com? Well, that's the fine work of a man named Mike Stretch, and he also redid our logo for us. Both of them I originally designed, and both of them were originally horrible, but now they're nice, and that's all thanks to Mike. And Mike has an awesome t-shirt company called Heritage Depot. There you'll find great designs based on Gettysburg and the Civil War with t-shirts and other types of merchandise. So go to heritage-depot.com and spruce up your Gettys nerd wardrobe. That's heritage-depot.com. Our favorite bookstore in Gettysburg is For the Historian, located at 42 York Street. It's because they have the best selection of Civil War books in Gettysburg, both new and used, and online they have even more to choose from. And if the Civil War isn't your thing, that's not a problem. This is For the Historian, after all. They cover history from the ancient world to the 21st century with a strong selection of World War II and American Revolution books. It's astounding how many thousands of titles from Osprey, Savas Beatty, UNC Press, and more they have in their store. And that's because, well, they have a warehouse too. And that's where they keep all the books that are available online at forthehistorian.com. And folks, if you go to forthehistorian.com now and order books until you're blue in the face, be sure you mention that you heard about them on Addressing Gettysburg in the Note to Seller box, and they will refund your shipping costs. And if you prefer to stop by when you're in town, well, you could do that too. Just mention Addressing Gettysburg at checkout, and they'll take 20% off the retail price of your item. So go to forthehistorian.com, or stop by 42 York Street, or you can call them at 717-685-5207. That's forthehistorian.com or 717-685-5207.
You're listening to Addressing Gettysburg.
You're back with Cam's Idol.
That was years ago.
Here's Matt.
All right, we're back now, and we've got David on the line. David, you're on the air. Oh, good. How are you? Sorry, David. How you doing, David?
Good. Hey, so I wanted to present this idea for a film sort of, expanded universe, or what's it called? Like the Marvel movies.
Right.
Gettysburg honestly should have. You wasted an opportunity. You could have been like an expanded universe, like Marvel. I don't know. You and Moxley Sorrell, like, fighting crime or something like that.
So Walter Taylor and Moxley Sorrell should become crime fighters.
Crime fighters.
Confederate crime fighters in Gettysburg. Detectives.
Yes, they're detectives, but with like really tight-fitting suits. I'm sorry, Bo, you got to work out a bit.
Tight-fitting suits. And like those really thin ties like the Beatles wore.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
A pair of designer sunglasses.
Yeah. Although it is the Civil War, so it's going to be weird that you're wearing like tight muscle suits, but also like it's wool. That's going to suck.
But that'd be tough with the wool.
They can travel through time, and then one of them, of course, is down and out with like a problem, and then the other one is solving it. And
Yeah,
there's
but
always
it's
a
be
desk
really
off the side with cobwebs on it.
It's going to be really awkward when Moxley Sorrell and Major Taylor show up in like 2028 to defeat the aliens, and they're like, "Hey, we're fighting for slavery, right? Isn't this what we're doing?" And then,
I like it.
And it should be at Christmas time.
At Christmas, I heard the.
Let's make it Christmas.
1863. Yeah,
You call it Confederate Christmas Mysteries.
Confederate Christmas Mysteries.
And it's a series of Christmas mysteries. Who stole the presents? That type of stuff.
Yeah. Or, I mean, that's kind of like the Grinch. I mean, who's the Grinch in that? Maybe, probably Hancock. Hancock's kind of
Hancock,
yeah.
Who killed Santa?
Yeah. But anyway, Bo, I just want to say I love the movie. I've never met you before. I would love to meet you at some point.
Absolutely.
And thank you. I really appreciate all the hard work that you guys put into it, and it's really. I'm so glad you guys did better than like Gods and Generals. I told Matt at one point. What is it I said? Matt, I was like, I
You
sent
said
that message,
you should
and it
be in
was
Bo's
like-
movies.
It was, yeah. It was like gods in general, or Gettysburg equals good movie, bad beards. Gods in general equals bad movie, good beard, or good bad movie.
Yeah, the facial hair was better in Gods and Generals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You learn lessons as you go.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and that was a shame. And you know, Ron Maxwell really fought for good beards and stuff. I'm serious. For
There's a
Gettysburg.
sentence that I never thought I would hear.
He wanted the top beard guy in Hollywood to do it, and the guy was too expensive, and they said no. They would not allow. It wasn't in the budget to do what we really wanted to do. I was supposed to wear a goatee, and it was so bad that I walked into Ron Maxwell's trailer, and I said, I look like a kid in a high school play with this.
Yeah.
Please don't make me wear this. And he looked at it and he goes, oh, it's horrible. No, please, just take it off. It's fine. And that's why I just had a mustache.
Was there also? I thought there was also a story about how originally it was going to be theatrical release, or no, sorry, television only, and then after they had the beards and everything made and all ready to go, then they're like, oh no, we're going to do theatrical release too. And there's a difference between TV beards and film beards. I thought Tom said that when
I don't know. You'd have to ask him. I don't remember, but I do remember that Ron wanted the top guy.
Yeah.
In Hollywood to do all the beards.
Yeah.
And you know, they don't just make them. You do a face mold.
Right.
And they conform it to you, you know. But the person that did it, and I know the people that did it, and they're actually friends. That wasn't their specialty, you know.
Oh.
That's
Merkins
they did
were
a
their
lot of
specialty.
other special effects. That was just one of them.
Okay.
But the guy we wanted was the beard guy. That's all he did, and it would have been a different story.
Did you get him for Gods and Generals?
I don't remember.
Okay.
Maybe so, but that's a good question to ask Ron.
Well, he never answered my email about coming on the show.
I'll talk to him when he's here. But
by that point, it'll be too late.
Remind him that I have his brick.
A Ron's brick?
Yeah, from
Okay.
the sidewalk. I have it.
I got to get
in
a
my
brick
office.
now. Everybody's got a brick.
Good. Are you
It's
the
in
brick
my
girl?
office.
One of my favorite.
Go ahead.
One of my favorite memes from COVID period on the Gettysburg, Facebook group for overly sensitive people was, I think it was Longstreet riding with Lee, and General Lee is just saying like, General Longstreet, is that bid N95 approved?
That's funny. All right, David, thank you very much for the call, sir.
Thanks, David.
All right, take care, guys.
I'll see you at
Bye.
Farnsworth. I'll bring Bo one night.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
That would be great.
I know.
Okay.
Awesome.
Have a good one.
Bye.
All right, and then so all right, real quick, we yesterday was moving day for Cindy's stuff. Cindy's stuff was moved in yesterday, and so we had our first night in the house last night.
Yay!
And it was good. Major barked for probably a half an hour after we put her in her crate for the night.
Your dog, Major Taylor?
My dog, Major Taylor, Major Taylor Calorie, and I had to, we had to ignore it, because you got to get her used to it and everything. It was but I just turned on an episode of House to drown it out, so it was still annoying. But and then she woke up barking at 5:45, and I took her out and brought her back.
5:45. She woke up barking. Why was she barking?
Because she had to go out. She was ready to get up.
She was in a new environment.
That's really early.
Oh, she does it every morning. No, she did it back home too. And so what I do is I'm very calm and quiet. I'm like, okay, let's go outside and everything. She goes outside. She does her business. Bring her inside, carry her upstairs, put her on the bed, and she, peed right on Cindy's head.
Awesome.
No. She didn't pee. She peed outside. But no, then she gets the hint. Okay, it's sleep time. So she gets in between us and sleeps for a little bit. Then my alarm goes off and wakes everybody up, and then it's over. But then we had a nice nap after this afternoon, the three of us on the couch, and Major also, sat on everybody's head for a while and then moved. She's like, I don't like Matt's head. I'm going to go over to Cindy's head. And then she finally took a nap with us and everything. But anyway, it's nice. I was telling Cindy before, I have to get used to space. I'm not used to space. Yeah. Because I rented a small place here because I was just starting out here and I didn't want to, tax myself.
Just remember that the space you think you have now is sans your stuff.
Correct.
So
right.
Don't get used to the space yet.
I don't
until your stuff is there.
And it's not all coming because there's well, first of all, we don't need it. There's a lot of redundancy like in the kitchen and stuff like that. But also, I'm looking to get rid of a lot of stuff because I have so much stuff. You move and you realize, why do I even have this stuff? Right? What are you doing the Mr. Burns fingers for? What is that? You want to help me get rid of stuff?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. As we go through, what's the toughest is clothes. I've been carrying clothes since high school. Why do I need that? I can't even fit in it anymore. Why am I bringing that with me everywhere I go?
Because you think that someday you're going to lose weight and wear them again.
Exactly. Yeah. When I'm old and I have some terminal disease, that's when I'll be able to fit in those clothes again. So, So anyway, so that's it. So we've started the moving process, and I'll be done by the end of the month for that with my stuff. All right. So we got one more call here, and then we'll get to the news. I believe this is Casey Turvin calling in. Casey, is that you on the air?
It is. How goes it, my friend?
Very well. How goes it with you?
Casey.
It goes, Bethany. What's going on, Bo? Debbie back in the back. How goes it?
Hey.
So Casey,
you had a birthday at your house recently.
Oh yeah.
Yes, I have a 3-year-old. I have a 3-year-old officially.
Oh.
3 years and 1 day old now.
Congratulations.
So,
Awesome.
How'd that go?
It was good, small family affair. He got a very oversized and pricey Power Wheel, so he was stoked about that.
Yeah.
3-year-old dream, cake, chicken nuggets. What else could you want?
You can't go wrong with that. Who? No.
Oh.
I don't know. Anyway, sorry. So the film club case. We had a good time last month on the film club. This is a new thing that we're doing, Bill. We have a book club, right? Our friend Steve Byers runs that, and that's been going on for 2 years, I think, now. And he does a great job with that. People read a book, and they get together, they talk about the book and everything. And then Casey and Steve were talking, and they said, what about a film club? And then I was like, that's a great idea. So now we do a film club. And Casey, people have been asking, and I've been saying that it's not just Civil War movies. It's war movies or historical, like, period pieces, right?
Sure. Yeah, I think for the first 4 or 5, we'll stay in the Civil War vein, and then we'll see where it goes.
Yeah, there you go. So the first one we did was Glory. Great film.
Edgewick.
And it was right, and it was a very good first meeting. I really enjoyed it. It was fun to listen to other people's take on the movie and all that other stuff. What's the next movie now we're doing is Gangs of New York.
Gangs of New York, Martin Scorsese, 2002.
Yep, great film.
It has the distinction of having 10 Oscar nominations and wins none. So
wow, see, look at this.
That's interesting film.
Daniel Day-Lewis was nominated for Best Actor.
And this is the thing that Casey does really well here. Is he doesn't just say, all right, watch the movie and then we'll talk about it, and then we're like, I really liked it because it was good. Casey actually has some facts and trivia about it, and then asks us questions, and we answer the questions and everything like that. One thing though, I was doing my morning drive video one day, and I believe it was Barbara. Barbara, she said, she got through half of it and had to stop because she, really didn't like it. But she did finish it though. But she was wondering what the hell it had to do with the Civil War or, war films, or I forget exactly what it was. I guess it's because the backdrop is the Civil War, right?
Yeah, so it's an interesting thing. So truly, the film is an amalgamation of about 20, 30 years of history.
Wait, let me Google
but the climactic part of the
So.
The climactic period is 1863, heart of the Civil War,
right.
and really the driving force behind the movie is the draft riots. So
Right.
the gangs are fighting this inter-immigrant warfare. So you have people talking, kind of about the Civil War in a way we don't always hear, kind of anti-Lincoln. I'm not going to fight to end slavery. I have other interests that in northern cities aren't necessarily portrayed. So it's a great film for that. And the key for antagonist, Bill the Butcher, I mean, there's a scene where he throws a knife right into Lincoln's poster. I mean, he is an open nativist, kind of a know-nothing type that would have been, a political protagonist to Lincoln in that time period. Or antagonist, I mean.
And it's, and then I guess we get into the fact that the Navy did not shell Lower Manhattan during the draft riots, but it makes for a good scene in a movie.
Right.
But
so Scorsese, he kind of sees himself as like the storyteller of New York, and what he's getting at here is the immigrant story, the forming of American culture.
Right.
What we see is, the Statue of Liberty to bring us our huddled masses. Well, this is where it played out at in New York.
It is a great movie. I do like it. I do enjoy it. The only thing is the stuff with the Cameron Diaz stuff in the middle with the love story. I don't need the love story. There's certain movies I don't need a love story. She's gets the ode for possibly the worst Irish accent in the history of cinema, for sure. Not as bad as Heather Graham in From Hell.
But it's kind of bad, she's up against these great actors like DiCaprio and Liam Neeson and, these guys, and then she's got to try to, ginger up this accent out of nowhere. So we got to give her some sympathy there.
Yeah, no, it's tough. All right, so what's the date of the next meeting? It's the 4th or the 5th?
So we're meeting next Tuesday, which will be the 3rd.
I was wrong on both.
And I do have a couple history facts that maybe entice some people if you want me to spew something out here for you if you're down. Movie connections and trivia. So, all right, first one. The term slumming comes from the 5 Points neighborhood. That's from slumming, yes. So in 1842, Charles Dickens writes a book called American Notes for General Circulation, and he goes into the 5 Points with a police escort, just like the scene in the movie. It kind of details the slumming, writes a book about it, and sends it out to the masses. So that term, and this happens where high society folks in New York would get police escorts into the 5 Points to just watch.
Oh,
and that's kind of as portrayed in the movie, and that's where, slumming it would be, we're going to go down and watch the impoverished, the immigrants and all that. So
wow. Could you imagine? Wow. Okay.
Now, 5
we
points.
do the same thing.
Fact,
it's called Cops.
We watch Cops.
Oh, yeah, Cops or YPD or whatever. I mean,
that's a good point.
The root in the same book that Dickens writes, he writes about an individual named Master Juba. And Master Juba was a black tap dancer that came out of the 5 Points. And many historians contribute American tap dancing as we know it coming out of the 5 Points.
No kidding.
And the reason is, this is the melting pot theory of New York. You have black folk coming from Africa bringing their Afro beats and their percussive dance movements and meeting Irish immigrants that dance Celtic traditional styles of dance, blend them together.
Wow.
I mean, think about it. I never thought of it like that, but it's so true.
If you ever see Riverdance, there is a scene where they do exactly that. They have African Americans tap dancing alongside Irish step dancers, and it's like they meet for the first time.
That makes total sense.
And in the movie, they kind of portray this. There's a scene as they're developing the Bill the Butcher character where he's kind of talking about a black kid dancing and how it's so, rudimentary and savage. But that is probably a portrayal of like a Master Juba type dancer.
And the other thing too, Case, is in that opening sequence, right? When what was the priest? The priest, is that what his name was?
Priest Fallon.
Priest Fallon, yeah.
Priest Fallon.
When they're going out to get in that fight where he gets killed, the music they play I remember the first time I saw it, I'm like, what the hell is this music?
Yeah.
It is the weirdest music because it's like, it's like it's got this like kind of maybe African type drum beat, but there's also a feel of like a European military march going with it as well, and then you got this like out of tune fife.
Yeah,
it's really, but it's a mix of all those cultures. I'm just realizing now that you said that. That's pretty cool. Now I got to watch it again with that in mind. But okay, so the third, 8 o'clock.
I'll give you one more.
Give another one. Yeah.
Well, let me give you one more thing. This is more of a production notes thing. There's one CGI film in the entire movie. So this is Martin Scorsese. The sets for this movie were actually built in Rome. They built 5 streets for the 5 points, and he brings his good friend George Lucas over. Says, "Hey George, look at my set." And George goes, "Come on, Marty, you can do this on computer now."
Yeah.
And that's kind of where George Lucas says this is the last great set you're ever going to see in a movie. So when you watch it, everything's real except in the last the draft ride scene when P.T. Barnum's elephant runs across the courtyard. George Lucas's film company did that scene for him.
So the elephant is fake, or that whole scene is fake?
Just the elephant, the CGI'd in where he's running across. That's it.
That's so they can put the no animals were harmed at the movie.
Yeah.
There you go.
There you go.
But it's a Lucasfilm, early 2000 kind of working their way into what becomes Star Wars and the Disney Plus world as we know it today.
Wow.
So originally the 5 points,
later, here we are.
They decided to break up the 5 points by building that courthouse, right? That still stands there?
Exactly, yeah. So the southern end of the 5 points is kind of the New York municipal area, and it reaches up to modern-day Chinatown on the northern extreme.
By the way, Casey, Barbara had said to me in that live video that she had sent you an email and never got a response, and she's reminding us now in the comments section. Tisk, tisk,
Yeah,
Casey,
anybody that sends me
tisk,
emails,
tisk.
I only check emails when I send them out. So if you're looking for me, I'm going to send a reminder like you do that just says I'm not here. Call me.
Yeah. Well, but people want to join. I think I'm not sure what Barbara.
Well, no, if you join, you add the list. Yeah, I add people to the list. But
Yeah.
everything.
Well, you might want to
I send
check
out- I
it
send
once
out
in a
emails.
while. I check it up. I check my email every now and then, but not maybe once a week. Maybe once a
I
week.
gotcha. Well, there will be an email going out this weekend with all the discussion leads and all the stuff for the meeting next week. So anybody that's listening, if you want to join, AG Film Club 1863 at gmail.com. It's not too late. We'll get you on the list.
There you go. It's a lot of fun. I'm going to do it. It's easier for me to watch a movie than read a book. I can't keep up on a book. I just can't. I can't read it
once a
anymore.
month. It's not a weekly commitment. You know?
Can I have somebody come watch Ezra so I can watch a movie the whole weekend? That would be great.
Well, yeah. I mean, why
this
don't
could be
you?
a coming of age for Ezra. You know, you could.
How long is
shut
the
him
movie,
down and pry
Case?
them eyes open.
It's a long movie.
It's a long. It's like 2.5
hours.
It's about 2 hours and 40 minutes, and it's one of those movies that probably should have been a mini-series, HBO, modern day sort of format.
Yeah.
Like it really needed that.
Well, then maybe, Bethany, what you could do on Tuesday is several hours before Film Club, we can come here and we can watch it here in the studio. And then...
I would totally do that with you, but next week I can't.
Well, then you're just a shit out of luck.
Well,
then. Sorry.
I'm playing nurse next week, remember?
Are you?
Yeah.
For what?
My dad's having his knee replaced and
Oh.
Art's having those 3 leg procedures.
That's
so
right. I forgot about that. Yes. Drew Peanuts says another super like. I like this guy. Every time he wants to be seen, he sends some money. Why hasn't Hollywood made a biopic? Is it biopic or biopic?
Biopic.
Biopic on Robert
I'd say
Smalls.
biopic, yeah.
Robert Smalls would be a great.
That's an amazing story.
It is an
It'll
amazing
happen.
story.
It'll happen. It's a sexy one. It'll happen.
It is, yeah. It definitely fits in with modern Hollywood, so I think it'll work. But it's a fascinating story. Barbara says, I wanted to know which film we were doing since I hadn't heard. I was hoping it wasn't Gangs of New York, so I didn't have to continue watching it. Unfortunately, it is, Barbara. But you know what, Barbara? We want to hear from people who don't like the movie, and we want to know why.
Yeah.
So by all means, you're more than welcome. If you don't like the movie, come on out.
Yeah.
And talk about it
That's
and tell
a
us
great
why.
reason to join.
It is. Because if everybody's like,
In
oh,
November,
it's great, I
Gone
love
with
it.
the Wind.
So Gone with the Wind is in November.
Gone with the Wind.
Oh, Lord.
A little foreshadowing. So, anybody
let's watch
complete
that
pivot
one
the other
together.
direction.
Okay.
Ooh, Let's
can I
watch
have
that
in
one
on that
together.
one too?
Sure.
Oh my gosh.
Sure, we'll watch it.
You get the Bethany
Bring your
version
sleeping-
of that movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. The Bethany version.
Mm-hmm.
What is that?
Oh, I know all the lines.
Oh, you do? I've only seen
war,
it once.
War, war. All they ever talk about is war.
Yeah.
It's all the parties in the
I don't remember any of that.
You remember?
We got to
they're
get some
gonna
Clark. We
make
need to
a
get some
Gone
Clark
with the
Gable
Wind, a musical
mustaches.
comedy.
Say, I'm sorry about what?
Make Gone with the Wind a musical comedy.
Didn't Carol Burnett try that?
Yeah.
Yes,
When she
I
wore
saw this in the window.
She wore the. That's the funniest freaking thing. That's so clever.
Yeah.
I saw this in the window, and she comes down with the drapes on her. Hey, Colby says, yo, missing my Gettysburg family. Hey, Colby. Colby's out in California,
Colby,
I
what's
believe.
up, baby?
Civil War Regiment says, I watched Gangs of New York for Bill the Butcher alone. Yeah, Daniel Day-Lewis is great.
Yeah, he is.
You ever met him?
He's amazing. He makes the movie.
The Cobbler?
So good.
Yeah, the cobbler.
The cobbler.
All right, Colby. It's not Colby. Casey, thank you very much for the call, and
Yes,
we'll see you
thank
on Tuesday.
Have a great night, guys.
Bye, Casey.
Yeah, but you too. All right, well, you know what time it is.
You doing news or events first?
She's the gal who knows what's going on. So take notes. There's a test at the end. Here's AG Today's lead anchor, Veronica Brestensky, with news, traffic, weather, sidewalk conditions, and what's happening this weekend.
I must have all possible information.
He stood as erect as I am now.
Guys are ridiculous.
Oh my God.
All right. So, what have you got in the news department? Any news besides what I printed out for you? Of course
Not really. There's not much going on this week because we're building up for
The big news is, of course.
But this is the big news.
The big news is that we're going to be doing a panel on October 14th at 9 a.m. at the Adams County Historical Society
we're building
with
up
Joseph
to
Fuqua.
a couple different things like the Gettysburg movie 30th anniversary.
Mhm. Now, here's an important question about that.
Yeah.
Tom Berenger's going to be in town.
Yeah.
All right.
Are we allowed
Talked to him
to
a couple
say
of
that?
times already.
Yeah, everybody knows that.
I know he's coming.
There was a press release that he's going to be doing a press
He
conference.
just
with-
texted me. He's like, this morning. He's like, who's all coming? You know,
You tell
give
him
me
I'm
a
gonna be there?
list. And I did.
And he's not coming now.
No, he's not coming.
That's the news. He quit. He said
out.
He's out.
No, I'm kidding.
Can I meet him?
Well, don't ask me.
Can I meet him?
He's
I
your.
hope so.
So here's what here, Bo.
I was like, you're not meeting him, woman. Just go away. It's fine.
Yeah,
It's
no.
fine. It's
I mean,
all right.
I you know what? There's going to be we're going to be pulled around
I know.
in a lot of different
There's
directions. And
everybody-
he was asking me about that. He was like, hey, I want to come to Gettysburg too.
Go to Gettysburg.
Friends coming. I want to go to Farnsworth and hang out and
Wanna
do
meet
some
Matt.
stuff. You know, and
Want to sign
he's
Matt's
like,
wall?
do we have a big, a lot of activities and stuff? And I'm like, well, there's a schedule,
Yeah.
Yeah, see, the
Hello?
foundation has nothing to do with that this year.
Right. But here's the important thing, Bo. Okay, you're going to need an assistant.
Yeah, you're going to be my assistant.
I'm going to be your assistant.
Oh, perfect.
So that way I get to go to everything and meet everybody.
Yes, that's right. Yeah.
Can I be
And
your
I need an assistant.
Can I be your assistant?
Yes.
Okay.
I actually need two
I'll come
assistants.
clean people's house.
Cindy will be there too.
Okay.
And yeah, you guys can help me. And then actually, Cindy needs an assistant. Debbie
Right on.
will be her assistant.
Awesome. Okay.
No, but I think, yeah, all right. So go ahead.
Okay, so the big thing, though, coming up that we're going to have to worry about this weekend
Mm-hmm.
is the possibility of a government shutdown.
Possibility.
So we did get official
Email.
from Mr. Jason Martz, who is the head of the communications for the National Park here at Gettysburg and at the Eisenhower National Historic Site. And it says, we are hoping that a lapse in congressional appropriations will not occur. We do not have any updates on our contingency plan at this time. So that's their official statement.
Now, that's the official statement. I called him because that came in at like 4:08 or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
I was getting ready for the show. So I called him up and I said, hey, got a couple questions for you. Because here's the thing. I've been, people have been asking me for the last 2 weeks, if there's a shutdown, what does that mean for visitation to the park?
Mm-hmm.
And I was trying really hard to remember the last time there was a shutdown.
It was a soft shutdown.
A soft shut. So I couldn't remember like what we did and didn't have access to.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember? So a soft shutdown as opposed to a hard shut. So soft, and tell us the difference.
So what happened last time was they shut down Eisenhower, the Wills House, and the cemetery. You couldn't go into any of those locations. The national park roads were still open, and the national park employees and volunteers were on furlough.
So buildings closed, roads open.
Yeah. Now, of course, that does not include the National Park Visitor Center because that is owned and operated by the Gettysburg Foundation.
It's not federal.
So we keep that open.
But sadly, I can't volunteer.
But you can't, if you're a national park employee, you can't volunteer. You can
If
volunteer.
you're a national park volunteer,
You
but
can't
if you're a foundation
if you're
volunteer.
a foundation volunteer, you can still volunteer.
So, right, that's what he said. So I said to him, what is the rule of thumb when there's a shutdown? And he said, there isn't.
Yeah.
And I said, okay. And he said, everything about this is we don't know.
Yeah.
And so I was like, okay. So you don't know until it happens. And I said, when are you going to find out? Like, do they tell you the day before? Or do they tell you the day of that you're in a shutdown? He goes, probably the day of.
Yeah,
And I was
it happened
like,
till like
literally
midnight the night before.
The last time they came in for the start of their shift and then left.
right.
Yeah. So like we saw them in the
Oh,
morning.
so they actually make them come in.
Well, they came in to, I guess, get their stuff and then left.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Congress has till midnight on the 30th.
Yeah, so it was
If they
very
don't
weird.
make it by then yeah, so no one would know until the next morning anyway.
That makes sense. Okay, gotcha.
Like, and if they left for work early and got here before all that was decided, then they were there.
Now, so they also said that he also said so basically there's no contingency plan for this, and it varies from administration to administration. I didn't know this.
Yeah.
So it would be an executive order. Basically, it says what can be open, whatever. And so what will happen, Park Service wise, here at Gettysburg, we won't know. They won't know until the day of as well.
Yeah.
Now, however, for those of you who are worried that means you can't come here to Gettysburg and you can't visit your battlefield, that is incorrect.
Yeah.
The visitor center, like Bethany said, stays open. And everything will be normal there, except the ranger presence is to be determined. They don't know yet what that will be. So if you want to go into the gallery, you want to see the movie, you want to see the cyclorama, you want to get a licensed guide.
Yep.
All
You
of
wanna
that
see
stuff.
Bethany?
You want to see Bethany? All of those things will still be there. So you can come to the visitor center. You wouldn't notice a difference. The only difference is maybe over where the rangers sit, there won't be anybody. But there are plenty of people who can answer your questions that work for the foundation, right? It's not that you don't need the interpretive rangers there, but everybody can answer your questions, right?
There you go.
And again, you can get a licensed battlefield guide. So if you have a tour planned with a guide after the first, and you hear this and you think, oh no, we're not going to be able to do it, that's not true. So everything is staying the same, nothing different there. Also, law enforcement will be on duty.
They will come after you
they
if you
will.
do something.
So this does not mean you can go and have a picnic on the U.S. Regulars Monument or something like that. No, you still got to picnic where you're supposed to picnic. You got to follow all the rules. You can't vandalize. You can't do anything that you think you want to do. You can't go on Little Round Top.
Yeah, please don't, because guys, I was up there recently.
You snuck up there?
No, they had a tour.
Thank God.
You went up there?
Yeah. And they had a tour, and it's still like I was standing there going, I should have a hard hat on. Like I felt very uncomfortable.
Well, it's a construction site. Yeah.
It's an active construction site.
Yeah.
Please do not go up there.
No, yeah, you can get
to
hurt.
the back and go up.
Do not
Do
go
not
up there.
listen to Bo.
Why not?
Bo.
I want to see it
No.
now.
No.
I didn't want to see it until you were talking about it. And they're like, all right, Chris, come on. Look,
Don't post
Chris
that.
knows how to get there through the back. We'll go out there,
Stop it.
take some pictures.
Say Bethany told me I could be up here.
Yeah. So it's
Get me
okay.
fired.
Bethany says,
No, you can't go up there. Do not. There are cameras. You will get caught.
Now, if
cameras
there
up
is,
Yeah, there are.
if there is a hard shutdown, meaning
right.
they are shutting everything down, the visitor center again will still be open. The only thing that will change in that instance that you will notice as the public is anything that is a park road. So that's anything with the word avenue. Will be closed.
So now, so that means Wheatfield Road will be open.
Emmitsburg Road, Tawnytown Road, all of those roads.
Now, what about like Reynolds? Even though it's an avenue, I always thought Reynolds was a through street, and also West Confederate. Those were
What about
streets that
Confederate
were
Avenue? People live there.
West Confederate Avenue
Up to that point.
where it becomes a one-way road.
To where it.
Oh no! See, but I always
Near
understood
McMillan
that you
House.
can take that at night to get down to Pumping Station Road, and also Reynolds you can take to get from, like, say, Fairfield Road to the Mumminsburg Road.
I don't know. I'd have to.
Is that because they're patrolled by the Park Service?
Yeah.
So that's why they'd have to close them?
I think the roads that they.
I mean, the Park Service law enforcement staff will still be on duty. They're essential staff.
Yeah.
Whether there's a small shutdown, a big shutdown, anything, they're still there.
Now, here's the thing, though, and I'm not positive that this is correct, but my hunch is all the roads that have gates, like East Confederate Avenue and Ayers Avenue, and I know there's others I can't think of right now, those roads are the ones that would get closed.
Yeah.
All the other ones, I thought were through.
There's a bunch of them that you don't realize are. And the only reason I know that is because we had muster.
Right.
And we had to do a lot of those tours out on the main roads, which, by the way, you cannot do.
What do you mean? Wait.
So the buses could go down like Emmitsburg Road.
Right.
And interpret, say, Pickett's charge. But they couldn't go down any, like, West Confederate. They couldn't go down West Confederate.
During the hard shutdown.
Yeah.
Okay, so maybe I'm wrong there.
So it was...
Would be the fifth time in my life I've been wrong.
But they also don't want you stopping your bus along the main road.
Right, that makes a
because
problem,
that could
too.
cause some serious accident potential.
Damn right.
So just whatever happens, please just look at the website. They will have all the wording up on the website, both the Gettysburg Foundation and the National Park site, both of them, Eisenhower and Gettysburg. And read it, follow it. Don't think that you are immune.
Right. And this is the thing. They don't care that you came all the way from Kansas to show your son for the first time in his life because your daddy showed you when you were his age and you want to have a special moment. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. Come here anyway, show them, but follow the rules.
Yeah.
Follow the rules. And that way, you don't ruin it for the rest of us.
Yeah.
Okay? And not only that, there's also the town of Gettysburg, which is going to be open, and there's plenty of things to see and do and eat here.
There's a children's museum.
There is.
There is a train station with a virtual reality.
There's also
I
that.
will be there. You can come visit me.
There you go.
Yeah. In the comments, Matt Arleth says, so you won't get kicked out at sunset. That would be a win. Incorrect.
No, that's incorrect.
Like she said,
Yes.
law enforcement will still be there to kick you out at sunset.
That is correct. Nothing changes as far as the rules. The rules are still the rules. You just might have some new rules, temporary, that you have to follow during the lockdown or shutdown.
And please keep in mind that the people who are on law enforcement, they're out there, and yes, they will eventually get paid, but at this particular time, they're not being paid. And 2 weeks without getting paid, 2 days without getting paid, and it's your normal schedule, screws you up. So they're out there out of the goodness of their hearts, guys. So just follow the rules.
That's a good point. They're working, but they're not getting paid until it's over, and then they'll get back pay. But they're still working.
Yeah. And you know, it could be a while, you know, if it happens. So
years.
It could seriously
I doubt that.
Yeah, I don't think
mess
so.
up things for them financially and personally. So be thankful that they're out there. Thank a park ranger, guys.
Hug a ranger.
Don't
You might get them sick.
do that.
Yeah.
I like Dana Lufer's comment. If there's a shutdown, will they put all the monuments away?
Yes.
Well, they deflate them.
They deflate them, yeah.
Mike Len sent another super like. Thank you, Bo, for your time and all that you do for addressing Gettysburg. And thank you for that. Absolutely. All right. What other news you got there, Ronnie? I'm sorry, not Ronnie. Bethany.
This is why I don't have news.
You know, it's
because
so
he
hard
doesn't
for
make me a thing from the news when I do it.
Well, I will if you actually come with news that I don't provide for you.
I was going to talk about this anyway. Jerk face.
All right, you got some events?
Yes.
Live this weekend where the action is. What's there to do and see when you're in town this weekend? Here's Valerie, Veronica to fill you in.
It's all covered.
All right, it's all covered according to Cameron Mallow. What have you got?
So this weekend, one of the big things that's going to be happening is they're having a Girl Scout Day. Destination Gettysburg is having Girl Scout Day. What?
Right. I'm just laughing at what an idiot I am. That's all. Go ahead. Girl Scout Day.
Yes. So there will be over 300 Girl Scouts in Gettysburg on the 30th. They are going to do different what they call treks. So they chose different things that they're going to be doing. So if you go to a museum on Saturday, you may run into a crud ton of Girl Scouts.
A crud ton.
Yes.
A crud ton of
worst type
So
of
they're going to be
Sounds
selling
like
cookies.
Yeah, they better have cookies.
No, they're not selling cookies.
Oh, is it not cookie
Too
season?
bad.
When is
No.
cookie season? Spring?
January, February.
Oh, January, February. But you get them in
They
spring.
can start selling them, I think, in December, like the pre-orders.
Okay.
My goddaughter's a Girl Scout. That's how.
Okay, there you go. All right. Apparently, a lot of people support the idea that you get at your own intro there, Beth. So I think I'm going to have to get Huevos Grande to record yours.
Yay!
What?
I get my own intro.
Wait, are you kidding, Mom? My mom said just read the writer's strike is over, making reservations again. Oh, because of Tom? I don't know. I'll see. We'll see. All right. So what else you got?
So we got Girl Scout Day. So just be aware when you go to museums, like pay attention to what they're doing. Some of them, like the museums I work at, we're putting the times that the Girl Scouts are going to be there up on the door so that people that are not affiliated with that know what times to not show up. Because it's going to be a lot of kids. There's also going to be shutting down, it looks like the Carlisle Avenue on the 29th in the evening.
Avenue or street?
Street.
Okay.
In starting at like 5-ish for the salsa on the square.
Ah, yes, delicious.
Salsa on the square.
Yes, everybody gets big pots and they make their salsa and then they dump it on the square.
It's not at all what happened.
Oh, they dance salsa?
Oh, that is fun too with the stage and the music. Yes, yes, yes.
Is that what it is, or is it the?
You know, I honestly don't know. I thought it was
No, it's not
music.
It is music.
Okay.
Oh, salsa music.
You thought it was really a salsa making contest?
Well, I didn't know. When you
No.
started singing, I was like, I never
Maybe they
thought
could
about
do both.
that.
That'd be kind of fun.
Would be nice. Maybe I'll have to talk to the organizers for next year.
This is Gettysburg adjacent, but you're going to see a lot of people around. The Fall Carlisle Collector Car Flea Market and Auction is happening this weekend.
Car flea market, like antique cars?
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
they have a big event up in Carlisle, and then a lot of times you'll see a
Carlisle.
lot of old cars down here.
Awesome town.
Oh, it is an awesome town.
Yeah.
Oh,
You
there's
took-
a good restaurant that we got to
You
go
and I
to.
went there. That was fantastic.
No, another
the
place.
Thai. It wasn't Thai. What
No, it
was
was
it?
Nepalese.
Nepalese.
Yeah.
Wow, so good.
All different dishes made with nipples. So
Nipples?
no, that was the joke, and you ruined it by saying the actual word. No, there's another restaurant that we discovered while you were gone. So we'll go up there one night.
Awesome.
I can't remember the name of it. Market Cross Pub, I think. Anyway, go ahead, Beth. What else you got?
We also have Living History at the Children's Museum this weekend.
Oh, wow.
The Officers for the Union, Ladies for the Union will be there. And they're wonderful humans.
What is it? Officers for the Ladies Union?
Officers for the Union and Ladies for the Union.
Got it.
Will be Officers for the Ladies.
I was like, what do you... Officers for the Ladies? Hey now.
It's too late. We got to go get food.
Give me-
I'm starting to get hungry.
Yeah. Yeah, right.
And
Me too.
I know that you don't.
You
think that
bitches
I'm-
up for food?
I know that you think that I'm ridiculous for talking about this.
Never.
But at the forget which winery this is at. They have goat yoga on the 1st.
God.
I've always wanted to do that.
Oh, Adams County Winery. They have goat yoga.
Aren't you afraid of getting like some kind of goat
10:30
fungus?
to 11:30 a.m.
It's a beautiful grounds at Adams County. Gorgeous winery.
Oh my God, yeah. Especially
We
this
have
time of year. Is so
we have a wine coming out, a Gettysburg Christmas wine coming out.
What?
And ornaments.
A red and white wine that Adams County is doing that we've worked on with them. We worked on the taste with them for several months, and it'll be out in about a week and a half.
Like Moira and David when they on Schitt's Creek when they went to Herbert Linger. Herbert Linger.
Well, I'll tell you this: the white wine. I'm not even a big white wine guy. It's the best white wine I've ever ever tasted. It's so good.
All right.
The red wine is really, really good too, but the white was amazing. So it'll have.
Is it a blend?
The Dale Gallen. The label is the Dale Gallen's Sachs Bridge that we also have in the movie with the sleigh and the Christmas tree in the back of the sleigh. So that's that'll be out in about 2 weeks.
And then you also are going to have ornaments, right?
Ornaments, Christmas mugs.
Where are those going to be available?
Christmas mug, and then ornaments, and I don't know what else. Yeah.
Where are those available?
That's a Chris question, but
where are those available, Chris?
Under the Horizon.
Under the Horizon?
Under the Horizon Pottery on Biglerville Road with Kathleen is the potter. Yeah.
Under the Horizon on Biglerville Road in... Oh, somebody's at the door.
That's just one of the mugs. They're beautiful. They're handmade, and they're gorgeous. But then we have other mugs as well at other places. So,
Now, what are some of the locales in and around Gettysburg that people can go to when they come here? After they see the movie, they're going, I want to go to that place because the movie shot there. Where are some of the places like?
Well, Farnsworth. Mr. G's. Shriver House. Also, well, of course, we go there all the time. The tavern, the
Dobbin House.
Dobbin House.
Yeah, downstairs.
Where we shot in the tavern.
Yep. I knew it. I knew it.
Gettysburg Christmas Inn. At the inn, we shot. It was supposed to be in the Christmas Lodge in the at the ski lodge, but we shot in the Gettysburg Inn's bar.
Yeah, and also, did you say the Christmas tree shop or the Christmas shop?
And the Christmas house we shot in as well. Beautiful scene in the Christmas house that ended up in the chocolate market. Yeah. And it was a really great little scene there with Hope, and
that's where she says, "You make it sound like I'm not happy with my life," or something like that, right?
Yeah, something like that. It's like, has it ever occurred to you that I might like my life?
Well, that's it. Yes.
But they have a really nice little scene in there, and then we're also at Lark. We shot a huge scene. It was shot for 2 days in that store, and we had, I don't know how many extras. A ton of extras.
Just another one I wasn't involved in.
So we shot at Lark as well. And then, on the sidewalks of Gettysburg, in front of the Wills House, in front of the Lincoln statue.
I was there for that.
In front of the Lincoln Inn.
Okay.
At that little park bench. That's where our bricks have been laid in front of. Gettysburg Christmas bricks have been laid in front of the park bench.
Oh, that's cool because it shot
that Lee
there.
Majors and Bruce Spotlightner did their scene together in it.
Did Bruce get a brick or just Lee and you in the movie? Or you?
No, Bruce, me, all of us.
I'm going to get one made, and I'm going to ask him to put it there, but I'm going to have it say Matt Callery, assistant to Lee Majors, because I was there for that. All right, so that'll be cool. So there's a lot of stuff, and I really do think you're going to like this movie, ladies and gentlemen. It premieres November 27th. No tickets left available, but
it will then be.
We'll tell you about it. But then it'll be playing throughout the Christmas season at the Majestic, correct?
Well, we don't know yet.
Oh, you don't know yet?
Yeah,
okay.
no. I mean, that's up to the producers, not up to me.
All right.
So we're going to find out in the next few days.
But we will let you know how to get a hold of it anyway after that fact there. All right. What else you got there, Beth?
The last Coffee with a Historian is on October 8th. It will be at the train station. Tickets are $12.50, and the guide will be Larry Korchak.
All right.
So it's your chance to come and ask anything you've ever wanted to ask from a guide. There's no set topic, so you can just ask whatever you've ever been on your head.
It's funny. People say to me, "Are you flattered that so many people around town are copying you?" And I say, "Yes, I am."
Copying you for what?
Format, Ask a historian, ask a this, and ask a that.
Yes.
I was actually copying off the national park.
Of course, I am not the first
request.
person to do ask a anything. I just
coffee with a ranger.
Yeah, but it's context, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes,
It's context.
I understand.
All right. Now, somebody is that all you got for events?
Yes.
All right. Somebody barged in while you were doing it because he thinks this is his world and we just live in it. So I don't know why he left. I guess he left because nobody paid attention to him. But Camp, come back in. Say hello. Give Bo a hug. Give him a hug, Bo. Give him a hug. He'll freak out.
Hey, buddy.
Give him a hug.
How are you?
Get down there. No, hug.
Good to see
Brother's
you.
hug. Oh, that's nice. Here's Cameron, ladies and gentlemen.
All right.
Get to the microphone, Cam. We need to hear you.
I don't want to know what music you're playing over there.
It was entrance music. It was it was like Johnny Carson type stuff. All right. But we could go back to your actual theme song.
No, not that.
All right. So how are you doing? You're almost done with your. You're almost done. You got a couple weeks left, and then you're done at Fort McHenry.
Yep.
And why don't you squat down so you can get in the microphone there? Sit on Bethany's knee.
I've been sitting all day.
All right. We'll just turn the camera up on you then, I guess. There we go. Everybody can see it. There, we got both of you in the shot there, sort of. There. Okay. All right. So you came. Are you going to join us for dinner tonight?
Yeah.
All right. Good.
I haven't eaten yet.
Me neither. Well, we've had some candy. Did you have here? You want some M&Ms?
I'm all right.
Oh yeah, Cameron lost 79 pounds.
I did not.
How much? 35 pounds.
Still impressive.
It's still impressive. Thank you. And you're continuing. You cut sugar out. You cut bread out.
Yeah, I have some toast every now and then.
Okay, toast, but you very little, right? You're really cutting your calories down, and you're walking. I got to tell you this too. You look about 10 years younger in the face. Seriously, the 59 pounds that you lost in the face alone makes you look 10 years younger. I admire you, Cameron. I'm jealous that you have the discipline that I don't have, and the time. What? I know. As you're eating Skittles, I just had a caramel-only Milky Way.
Yeah, that was so rich.
I got about a couple weeks left to go with the job, and got one more outing with the Pride of Baltimore, too.
Are you excited to see a Gettysburg Christmas?
Yeah, looking forward to it.
Are you excited for the movie? Are you going to be around? You're not going to be here for the movie.
Yeah, well, I'm staying
you took
up
off?
Here. No, what movie you talking about?
Gettysburg, the reunion.
I'll be here in the evenings.
That's when everything's over.
I know.
Yeah.
I got to work. I need.
You can't take off for that? You're going to miss me, Bo, and Joseph Fuquay Saturday morning at 9 o'clock at the Adams County
I'll be
Historical.
around in the evenings.
That's not the same. It's not the same. But all right. Well, listen, Cameron, we went over tonight's show, so I gotta end it. But thank you very much for coming in and saying hi to us all. Everybody loves you. People miss you. They say. I don't know if I believe them, but they say that. And that's it. Bo, thank you very much for coming in. It was great talking to you. It was a lot of fun. Glad you're back. It's great to see you. Bethany, thank you for filling in.
Anytime.
For Veronica. And Debbie, thank you for filling in for Colby. And we will see you all next time, I think. Who knows?
Bye, everyone.
Bye, everyone. You have a great week. We'll talk to you later.
Addressing Gettysburg Today is produced by Matt Callery and Veronica Brestensky, Esquire, and broadcasts from the Gettysburg Museum of History Studios. Engineered by Colby Sumner and sometimes someone else. Guest accommodations are provided by the guests themselves. Who are we? Vanderbilts? But if you want us to take better care of them, become a patron at patreon.com/Addressing Gettysburg. I'm Huevos Grande, the voice of Addressing Gettysburg. Thanks for listening.
Hairy leg. And that's what I believe is where I'm standing.
True international effort to pressure for people that bad and kept there. America's dead.
0.0.
Eric, be quiet. You assholes.
I got into reenacting because I like the clothes.
I love this podcast.
I am a very pretty man. If I were my parents, I would have killed me.
This concludes our broadcast.